Judgment time.
Welcome to Everything Comes Back to 2000AD, and today we're joined by Mr. Stephen Ross.
Mr. Rossy, what you want? Oh, the tree of ice cream cones, a cocoa castle full of home, custard cakes, coffee breaks, holiday, we're on the stage.
Hello, I'm back from Comic-Con. I survived just barely, and there's no energy drinks today because I drank them all.
Mr. John Burtis.
Hello to all you drockers out there, and unlike Ross, who's been to the Comic-Con with a fucking droog, I've been rocking out 2 weekends in a row, but we might talk about that later on, but we might hear about how Mr. Ross got bummed to death in his hotel room. But before that, because I mentioned death, let's talk about deaths, baby. Right, we might as well continue off from last week where Mr. Kevin Keegan died in the middle of the podcast, so we might as well say a few things extra because Kevin Keegan, 75, English footballer. Now, yes, he was the man who launched 1,000 perms, but for me, he will always be the person who was on, what was that fucking sports show?
Question of Sport?
No, the Champions one where they had a lot of slightly going out of their prime sportsmen.
Oh, yeah, they'd have these competitions.
Brian Jacks was the champion of it, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And
they
Kevin
did the same
Keegan,
over, they did something similar in the US, but it was with all the stars, the network stars.
And the big thing with Kevin Keegan was on the bicycle race, he came off and fucking grazed his arm severely. It was fucking ripped to shreds, and he still fucking continued after he got it all taped up and all that sort of shit. But it was like Super Champ or something like that. But anyway, yeah, so Kevin Keegan. Then he went to, we didn't mention this, he went to Borussia Mönchengladbach, what the fucking team was called. And didn't he get the European Football of the Year from that when he was
He won
there?
the Ballon d'Or, I think, a couple of times.
Yeah, so anyway.
Let me check that anyways while you're talking.
Yeah, Kevin Keegan, yeah. Let's see if I can find that thing about that. Joseph Kevin Keegan, so 1951, so his dread was named after him, Joseph. Yes, so his teams were Scunthorpe that he played for, Liverpool, Hamburg SV, Southampton, Newcastle United, and Blacktown City. 592 appearances.
He won the Ballon d'Or. He won the Ballon d'Or twice.
Excellent. Yeah. England. He was England under 23s, 5 caps, 1 goal. England, 63 games, 21 goals. He managed
England as well.
He did. 1990. Didn't he fucking...
After Hoddle, I think.
It was a 1 year, 1999 to 2000. That's when he managed England. Then he did Man City and then Newcastle. Yeah.
If it wasn't for Keegan, Newcastle wouldn't be as big as it is now, the fan base.
That's right.
It was Keegan that built that fan base. And he built one of the best Newcastle teams in history as well.
Yeah.
With a spree
Superstars. Yeah, I got the name right. I got the Superstars. And it says here, Keegan competed in 76 on BBC Television's programme Superstars with a load of paedophiles probably. Despite suffering severe cuts after crashing his bicycle, he insisted on re-racing and secured second place in the event before going on to win that edition of the programme. And he also advertised Brute Aftershave, which you mentioned, which alongside Henry Cooper. What else is there? documentary, narrated documentary on himself. It says here,
That's
he did
handy.
it, yeah, in 1993, in the year I was married, a Football Manager video game featuring Kevin Keegan was released for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Kevin Keegan's Player Manager. God, I never heard of that one.
No, I don't know why.
Yeah, but yeah, loads of shit. Oh, he's had an aircraft named after him. So, and he's got a picture of him on the side of it between the entrance door and the cockpit windows, and it's got him in his Newcastle kit and his name next to it.
Does it have the phrase, "I'd love it if we beat them"?
It's probably here somewhere, yeah, but it's probably on the wings. All right, next up we have Keely Hottle, aged 18, American actress. She was in the Godzilla vs. Kong films and its sequel. She was the young deaf girl.
Yeah, she wasn't that old.
18, and she died in a car crash. So
might have been a drunk driver.
I don't
usually stuff like that's usually drug related, or
she couldn't hear the other car coming.
Well, she might have been a passenger, Mr. Ross. I can't quite see. Police said that. Here we go. She was one of the 3 occupants in a vehicle that veered off the road and struck a culvert. Deputies responded at 2:52 a.m. The driver suffered non-life-threatening injuries, fucking hell, while the other passenger declined help. Police said that excessive speed was believed to be the factor. Hottle was airlifted to R. Adams Cowley Shock Trauma Centre, where she was pronounced dead. Oh, God.
Well, the thing is, Rossi, here in her car, she didn't feel safest at all.
That's right. If
she
only they had
felt
that
perfectly safe, but she just wasn't.
If only she had that song going, it might have slowed them down a bit, as everyone was going, turn that shit off, it's crap. So,
or they were trying to get there faster so they wouldn't have to listen to it anymore.
Not only was she in the 2 Godzilla films, she was also in 1 episode of the Magnum PI. So obviously she was just starting out in her career, had the films, and but yeah, pretty sad.
Yeah, the crappy Magnum PI with the Asian guy.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a remake.
Right.
Is it,
well, I know it's not the original
where they did a lot
ones,
of gender swapping and everything in it.
Oh,
does the PI stand for Pacific Islander? Or?
Oh, there you go. Not bad, Rossi.
Thanks.
Good.
Anyway,
right.
Yes, it is very sad that she was, especially
so young.
Yeah. Next one up, we've got Charles Gaines, aged 84, American writer of Pumping Iron, and I would never have guessed this in a million years. From looking at his picture, even though it's a picture from 2014, he was the co-inventor of paintballing. Fucking hell. So he must have fucking got some money from that. You know, all the paintballing that goes around the world now.
Mm-hmm. Unless he was fucked over the deal.
Well, you never know, do you? Yeah. It says over more than 50 years of magazine writing. He published articles in Harper's, Geo, Sports Illustrated, Town and Country, Outdoor Life, Esquire, Men's Journal, one for Mr. Flint, Playboy, Garden and Gun for Rossi's dad, Field and Stream, Sports Afield, Southern Living. Yeah.
Garden and Gun?
What was it called? Garden and Gun. Yeah, let me get it's coming up here. It's a national magazine. It's a national magazine. Here it goes. God, my fucking hands moved. Garden and Gun.
Awesome.
It's a national magazine focusing on the southern United States. The magazine reports on the South's culture, food, music, art, literature, and its people and their ideas. Based in Charleston, South Carolina, it was created in 2007. So, yeah, Garden and Gun.
So you go after the moles and possums.
Shoot the bastards.
Garden, yeah. Look out, squirrels.
It's like the guy. It's like that. You seen the video of the guy who had moles or gophers out his backyard? So he.
Is that when he put the fucking explosives in and blew the yard?
Yeah, he put gasoline down it.
Fucking hell.
Down it, and then set it on fire, and his whole yard blew up.
I didn't know. I've seen the blow up bit. I didn't know he was trying to get rid of them. I just saw
trying to get rid of gophers.
Because everything just lifted, didn't it?
Yeah, his whole garden ruined.
So when I told I told you about like when my dad used to take us to the gun show. This was long enough ago where they used to have like VHS tapes, and then a VHS tape called like 500 Exploding Critters, and it showed a picture of like a gopher caught between the crosshairs. So
There are probably 500 deaths of animals on there live.
yeah, I mean that's just like
Well, I've watched the ones where you've got over in the UK, you got the people do the ratting. They've got the dogs, and they've also got the fucking 2.2 rifles, and they scope in on them. It's fucking quite interesting. But my favourite ones are the fucking Yanks going after the wild boars from helicopters, all terrain vehicles with fucking miniguns, and I'm just like, it's like we kill like fucking 600 in one night, and you just see them go down, and then it's just a stream of tracer, and they just fucking trace it up to the thing. But yeah, from the helicopters, it's just fucking amazing. They're in the they're coming into like a fucking, I don't know what they're called, like a group of the wild pigs, but there's about 40 wild pigs, all varying sizes, and he takes out the big fucking motherfuckers first, and they're all splitting, and it's just like, and you just see them tumble over, and you're just like, fuck, because they're wrecking all the crops. You know what I mean?
That's from above.
That's it. Anyway, next up, we've got Mitch Bird, age 68, American comic book artist and primarily a penciler. And he did, let me have a look here. His first major work. Well, it says his first major work in comics was the book Cat and Mouse.
Yeah,
working with Stephen Butler. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And he occasionally worked for Marvel Comics and DC Comics.
He's mainly known for Guy Gardner Warrior for DC, and I think then he started doing his own sketchbooks and stuff. But he's an amazing he was an amazing artist.
Did he do that legal thing? It was like, or maybe I'm thinking somebody else. It was like a legal comic book strip thing. Does it sound like something like attorney at law? Or do you have a list of his?
Oh, you're thinking Wolf and Bird or something like that, right?
It has hardly anything on here. The only thing it's got here, he says, apart from that initial bit, it says, a book of his art entitled The Art of Mitch Bird, Volume 1 was published in 2001. Scribbles and Sketches, HC, hardcover, Volume 01 was published in January 2008. He died from a heart attack in July 2026 at the age of 63. Oh, I don't know where I got 68 from, so he died of 63. But there's nothing. I presume it's one of those ones where people are still fucking finding stuff out, because eventually the more and more stuff gets filled in on it.
Yep.
And then we have, this is the penultimate one that I've got, Chuck Russell, age 74, American film director, screenwriter, and producer. And he did stuff like A Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors, and who's been to the Nightmare on Elm Street house? Fucking I have. And I was invited in by the kids. It was only the nanny that said no. We can't have that strange man and his wife in the house. They'll probably kill us all.
Haven't you seen the movies, you fool?
Yeah. He did The Blob, The Mask, Eraser, and The Scorpion King. Ooh. But it says here,
Scorpion King was a nice try.
His first produced script was 1984 film Dreamscape, directed by Joseph Rubin. I've just hovered across the Dreamscape. It looks like it's sort of like not quite an Indiana Jones poster. That sort of era of poster, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it was that guy, that artist.
That was a good movie with Dennis Quaid. You go into your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it was like Inception before Inception.
Yeah.
Oh, he did the he wrote and directed Witchboard. Was that the one with fucking? I'm trying to see.
Julie Strain.
Nah, it's not the one I saw. The Tony Katane one where she was naked in the shower. So that bit of the video was fucking stretched and warped, being paused so long. Yeah. So says he also did some episodes of the TV series Fringe. I Am Wrath, starring John Travolta. In fact, he's a full thing here. So he's producer on Cheerleaders, Wild Weekend, The Hearse, Hell Night, The Seduction, Body Rock, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, Back to School, Collateral. Films, we've mentioned them all. And TV, we mentioned Fringe. Yeah, so interesting stuff. But now we come to the one who died today. The one, who all British military army personnel are nicknamed after. Yes, it's Bill Oddie, Squaddy. He has died. Bill Oddie. He was an English actor, artist, birder, comedian, conservationist, musician, songwriter, television presenter, writer, and all-round fucking god. And
goodies, goody.
Yeah, oh my god! Do you know what? They never repeat them. Now, Steve Green got the box.
That's because I think there's an episode where they pretend they're minstrels.
It's worse than that. Steve Green got the box set, and he said after the first 3 or 4 episodes, he said, "I know why they'll never be able to show any of these. You've got Jimmy Savile stuff, Rolf Harris stuff, the minstrel stuff. You name it, everything that can be not seen is in there."
He actually appeared on a few shows with Rolf Harris.
Yeah. Oh dear. But yeah, so to our generation, he was a member of the Goodies, and it was fucking awesome TV. It was fun. So many things, the Ecky Thump, the fucking giant cat, all that sort of stuff, brilliant. To another generation, he is a conservationist. He just like spring watch, autumn watch, his bed and stuff.
So he did the voiceover for all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
So I'm just trying to look down what else we got here then. But it was the same generation of characters that also, because there was a crossover between the Monty Python lot, the Green Garden. In fact, twice a fortnight on television. Oddie was co-writer and performer in the comedy series Twice a Fortnight with Graham Garden, who was a goodie, Terry Jones, Michael Palin, who both Monty Python, and Jonathan Lynn, and he also did other stuff with Tim Brooke Taylor, and then it obviously they got to become the Goodies. But yeah, it's quite sad. I'm looking forward to, not looking forward to like, oh, it'll be awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing what they see on the news, because I get so pissed off with people who were amazing.
They'll mention them as a footnote in the last minute of the news.
Yeah, but yet they'll have some fucking useless fucking what's them. What's that fucking app that I don't do, which all the kids do, but it's like a 30-second shit.
TikTok.
TikTok, yeah. So if it was a TikTok influencer, they would be like, that would be the fucking lead story. Even if we were just going into World War III with Russia, that would be the fucking thing. Oh, TikTok star dies. Who? They had 50,000 followers. Fuck me. Who cares? But you'll get people like this. It'll be like, they might even just give it 1 minute. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking hell, you bastards. But that's it. And it says here, these are some of the programs he was in. So that's 1983. We'll start there. So, oh my God. So he started doing his bird stuff on the TV in 83. The Great Bird Race, Channel 4. The Great Kenyan Bird Safari, BBC. Favourite Walks with Birds.
Rossy might like him a lot because he did a lot of parody songs.
Yes, he did.
Hey.
Yeah, so if you just Google like him and the Goodies for their songs, you'll get tons of stuff.
For some reason, I never really thought the Goodies were that funny, but I think now that I'm old, it'd probably be like hilarious.
Well, there's a certain kind of humor to it, like especially when they do the Yorkshire stuff.
Yeah, I think like because a lot of their stuff, like for instance, there's got like an accent to it. We get the laugh at the accent. So for instance, if hello Dave, if they did a Birmingham accent, the Birmingham accent is quite funny, right? So
it'll be like you're watching the new Rogue Trooper movie, Rossy.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, well, I got to rub elbows
if it ever comes out.
Rogue Trooper. Yeah, well, that was the theme of the booth which I'll talk about later. So
So you got all that sort of stuff, but lovely person, freaking another part of my childhood gone. But 85, not a bad age.
Mm-hmm.
So there we are. That's all my deaths. Goodbye, all you people.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one thing. It's basically the death of music, really, but it's something that I sent in the chat for Mr. Ross.
With Gary Newman.
It is.
Oh God!
So I follow this site, the Sign Fine Art, and they've had like John Lydon, they've had freaking, I'm trying to think.
Is he
they've
punk?
had
John Lydon, is he punk? Is he part of Devo?
He's king of
that's
punks.
they didn't have any Devo signings, I can tell you that. I think they had Cher, they had one that I think they've had Paul McCartney, they had some really massive names. And now apparently they've got Gary Newman coming soon. New signed fine art collection, because you normally get 2 or 3 pictures, and it says here, featuring iconic licensed photography. Each museum grade fine art print will be individually hand signed by Gary Newman and released as a strict limited edition, and you will receive
limited edition of 1, because only one person's going to buy it.
That's it. Well, they do this thing where when they've got rid of like the 100 of this, then they go, we've got 12 artist proofs, that sort of thing. So it's just saying. Anyway, so it comes up here and it goes, UK retail price is 295 quid.
Oh,
International price, 245 quid.
What?
As Mr. Ross, you saw that price was cheaper. And the worst thing is, it has 3 quotes on the right of the page. The first quote is, there are still people trying to work out what a genius Gary Newman is.
Trying to work out. Do you really think there's people trying to work out?
Now, I'm glad this person's dead, because that's what you deserve for saying something like that. That's Prince, right? Next one, this is another person already. Gary Newman has written one of the finest things in British pop. He did say some of the finest things in British pop.
One of the finest things, huh?
But I changed it, yes. And that was fucking David Bowie.
Oh, wow. And that's after he got him thrown off the Kenny Everett show.
And the final one is Gary Newman was vitally important and a huge inspiration to what? And that's Trent Reznor. Do you know who he is? What group he's from, Mr. Ross? Trent Reznor.
Yeah, because they've collaborated together.
Say it quickly before you look it up.
9 Inch Nails. Well, actually, I have to say 9 Inch Nails. That's the Germany.
But yeah, when that came up on my feed, I put a massive guffaw, because I thought, I've got to send that to Rossi to see if he'll get one.
No.
Not yet. I mean, even if you got one, it would never go up on the wall, would it?
Nope.
I'd come to our house in 30 years' time. We'd be in our wheelchairs trying to get up the stairs, and I'll say, "Where's your fucking Gary Newman picture?" And you'll say, "Well, you know that leak I had, and we had another one. I had to use it as blotting paper, like the big famous 2000 AD leak where they used all the artwork."
Well, obviously, I've done the right thing, because if I had those on my wall while the wall was leaking, then those pictures would have been destroyed forever. So there you go.
Yes. Oh, here we are. So there's Faulty Tower ones with John Cleese. There's Debbie Harry ones. Alice Cooper. I looked at them once for a friend. Hang on, is that one still available? Yeah, there's one still available there at least. Cher, I was correct. Boy George looks shit. Johnny Rotten, Francis Rossi. Now, I did laugh at these.
Rossi doesn't know who Francis Rossi is.
Oh, he was lead singer of Status Quo.
Oh, I know what Status Quo is.
Right.
Is the Cher one like one where you can like count the plastic surgeries, or is it like before all that?
Now, the other ones, you can actually see the physical pictures behind them and they're signing them. Mm-hmm. If this is the Cher one, it's just a black and white. She's looking straight at the camera. Her face is probably less than a third of the actual page, but I don't know if that's the image or not. But
and is the Prince, was the Prince quote the one where they said people are still trying to work out? Is that what Prince said about him?
Oh, I can't remember. I moved off that page. I might go back in a minute. That Prince said that. He said,
okay,
you know what? That's because Prince was confused too about how does this guy make a hit?
No, because he killed himself straight afterwards.
Do you want to know why that's even funnier than neither one of you think?
Go on, then.
They're at the lowest point, and Gary Newman will be the first one to admit that these were like the very leanest years when he couldn't fill a club. he did.
Well, that's all his years.
No, he's played Coachella, or I don't know if he actually got to play, but he was.
Yeah, but that was like a group deal. Like, we got these 10 artists, but Gary Newman wants to be part of it. Ah, fuck it, just throw him in.
No, he
we
does.
yeah.
He
Go
does
on.
at the lowest point in his career. He was advised to do Prince covers, so he did "You Got the Look," 1999, and I think there was another one.
Bet you was never good as Tom Jones.
Bet you it's just never good. I mean, he'd be the first one to admit that those were big mistakes.
As well as his other songs.
Well, I mean, you go from Prince to you're gonna be looking good. I don't even know the lyrics to the song, but you go from Prince, who's like super Chad Black dude, to Gary Newman sounding like a robot. Like, oh God.
And then,
Anyway.
Now we've already took the big out of Dave and his accent. We might as well mention Pete. There's also some signed pictures. What Pete might want to not get of Only Fools and Horses. There's the image at the bar where he's about to fall through. He signed that, and now I can't see what the size of this is. But
how much a day? How much a day?
I'm just going to get the price. I'm trying to find the size. There's different sizes.
It might be worth buying one and sending it to Pete.
No. The biggest one is 495 quid.
That's worth more than Gary Newman.
I know, and the smaller one is 395.
Still worth more than Gary Newman.
Yeah, then you've got some sold out ones, which is like 8 pictures of him, David Jason. That's sold out. Oh, no, there's some more ones below as well. 275 quid, 275. They're not sold out. But you've also got, these have already sold out, but they have a waiting list for people who want to resell them back. Oh my
God, sold out.
These ones, Star Trek Arena. Star Trek Original Series Art, individually signed by William Shatner. Now, I'm just going to get the more info on that, see what the price was originally. Oh, unframed, only 145 quid. Because it looks like a book cover, the way it's done. Sold unframed with full certification, ready for framing. Hand signed by the legendary William Shatner, who's going to be dead soon. Less than 10 remaining. Official, blah, blah, blah.
I thought he beat the cancer.
No, he's got stage 4. Nobody survives stage 4.
Yeah,
There's no stage after that. It's the death stage.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
Well done there, Ross. That was pretty impressive.
I didn't hear that. What do you say?
Go on, do it again.
It's been fun.
Oh.
And then you have other ones which were quite good. You had Barbara Windsor with her bra about to pop off. In fact, her hands are on her tits on that one. So there's 6 pictures on Carry On Camping. There's Don't Tell Him Your Name, Pike. There's that one. There we are. The Gary Newman one. Let's say them phrases again for Rossi. There are still people trying to work out what a genius Gary Newman is. That was Prince. Gary Newman has written some of the finest things in British pop. David Bowie. Gary Newman was vitally important and a huge inspiration. Trent Reznor. Now, they could be anything from anywhere in what they said about him.
Well, I mean, Trent Reznor brought him out on stage to do a couple of songs at one of his concerts, so I guess he's probably a little closer to being a fan than the other 2 guys. But they need to have the names you recognize.
So you can pre-register for that, Mr. Ross, and get loads.
Yep.
Not that you
I'm
will.
good. No.
So that's my little funny thing about that, Mr. Newman.
Oh, nice. Nice.
I suppose it's that time, isn't it?
What?
Time for you to divulge the shenanigans that you got up to in SDCC.
Oh, well, okay, so we can make this Kickstarter corner because that Luchadors versus Everything book that I backed and I've talked about at length while you guys are off making tea and
sleeping
sandwiches and
all right, Rossi, we'll do Facebook. Kickstarter corner. Go ahead.
Well, I figured we could put it in a nice little basket. So for Kickstarter corner, I got the Luchadors versus Everything guys were there with the mock-up of the book, and holy shit, I was not expecting it to be that big. It's
that's what she said.
Yes. I gave that to you. It is a chunky book. They said they were going to add one of the stretch goals was they were going to add pages, and even minus that, it's a monster. So well worth every penny. Well done. The design looks great. It's full of wonderful archival stuff and some hipsterish artwork, which I can give or take. They gave me some. I got a free print. When it went to the table, I said, "I'm a backer." They were kind of half kidding. They were like, "Well, show me the email that says it." And I'm like, "Okay." So then they gave me like a little baggie of free stickers, and later I went back and they gave me a signed print, and so that was pretty good. And
how many pages were in it?
God, it's like over 300. I think it's pushing like 400 pages.
Oh.
But when you see it, it looks even more than that. I mean, it's a tome. So and they were going to have like 2 or 3 other luchador events where they're going to have a Blue Demon Jr. was going to be there, but not at the convention. You'd have to go to one of the hotels across the street, and my knees and feet were like, "Nope, you're not going for that walk." And then what was the other one that they were going to have? They had 2 other luchador events, but I was like, I've seen the book, it looks great. I don't think they're going to say anything I don't already know, so it's fine. So to start from the beginning, Simon Belmont from the Southern contingent came over. He may listen to this one, so.
Well, hold on, before you move on from Kickstarter Corner. I see that Uncle Pat has still got 29 days left to go for his Shaw Book 2.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's got 218 backers, and at the moment it's at 18 grand.
Yep. Yeah, good old.
I think that's more than the last one.
They said that I got an email saying that it is. So, Uncle Pat Kaching, a lot of happy customers last time. So, and I suppose being the 77, you can get the first one in case you missed it. Like, you get a second chance add-on.
Yeah, I think it might be an add-on. Yeah.
Okay. Is there any Kyla news too? Since we're on Kickstarter.
Yeah, I sent the proof the files off to be printed to get 2 proof copies to see what they look like. So I did that on the weekend. Actually, on Thursday or Friday, I did that. So I'm waiting to get back for those to get back to me. But yeah, everything's done. I went through and fixed the interview and fixed some of the back matter stuff to make sure that the spelling was correct and grammar was better. So
yeah, I'm too late. I'm too late because of everything that was going on. But I will. I do want to see it, so I'll download it and look at it on the iPod.
Well, that's the old one you have. I sent you the old one.
Yeah,
it's been redone since then.
Okay, I mean, I still want to see it. I mean,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, so
it's just I feel bad that I kind of neglected it, but I'm now that a gigantic thing is off my mind and we're off to recovery with the flooding, then there you go. Oh, well, I guess I'll go way back for the San Diego thing. So did I talk about the flooding on the last podcast?
Yes.
Did I just tell you guys? Okay. So we got repair guys coming today, as a matter of fact.
Are they Mexican?
Don't know. Probably. So my dad took care of the flooding, and it looks like the insurance will cover most of it. So
you don't have to pay. You know what you have to do. If they're Mexican, as soon as they come, you say, "Here's the check," and then quickly ring up ICE and get them thrown out the country. And you're laughing.
Yep.
Somebody actually did that.
I know. That's why I said it.
I don't doubt it. I mean, you could have called ICE at the Comic-Con, honestly, but maybe we would have gotten some walking room. So Simon Belmont of the Southern Contingent came over and was a guest. We had to tell him to find another hotel the first night because
you brought the beds.
No, no, it was the first day. It was the first day of the flooding, and we didn't know what was going on. So, but then he was able to come over the second night. So he stayed in my English IKEA bed, Only Englishmen
Oh.
have slept in that.
Hang on. You do know IKEA is not English.
Yes, I know, but it has been only christened by English people. No one but English people have slept in that bed. You,
Right.
my friend Ken, and now Simon. So
Ah.
now we're just waiting for Sawyer's. Flint, you're exempt. I'm sorry. can't do it. But he stayed over, and we went to the taco truck and prepped and hit the road. Halfway, well, not halfway, but part of the way down the freeway, we passed a sign that said 2 exits to Florence Street, and I said, you know what? I didn't know this about him, but he loves old-timey Americana. So one of the things he wants to do on the trip is his first day he went to see, he landed in LAX and he wanted to see SpaceX. And I said, well, what, the neighborhood around there is not very good. It's pretty notorious. There's a Instagram channel called Mr. Catch a Fade. And it's a guy with this kind of like ghetto sounding voice doing a Google map showing like these really dangerous neighborhoods around Los Angeles. He's like, you check into this hotel, you won't be checking out. To catch a fade is basically to pick a fight. And so he's like, I went into and there was one where he goes to the LA County jail and he's like approaching somebody getting out of jail and he goes like, I went to the World Fade Center to catch a fade, that kind of thing. So Inglewood is one of the fade capitals of this area. So he went to SpaceX, which is there, and I said, well, as long as you don't leave the block or the parking lot, you might be okay. So I asked him, what did you see there? And he goes, oh, just the rocket you see on the Google satellite thing. That's all that's there that you can see. And I was like, oh, okay. But he likes Americana and he likes air museums and he likes space museums. He likes museums. So I know John's gritting his teeth.
He wants to fucking get out. You boring twat.
So I forgot what else he saw on the way over. So when we finally hit the road to San Diego, I said, you know what? So one of the things he wants to do, one of the places he's going to go to now after San Diego, is he's going to go see the first McDonald's. He's going up to Barstow. He's going to see the first McDonald's up there. He's going to go to a ghost town, tourist trap ghost town called Calico, which I recommend that he see while he's in Barstow. Did you go to Calico, John?
No, we went to Barstow. I think that I'm just going to get a map up to make sure I've got it in my head.
That's a catch a fade capital too. My dad was like, Jesus, why is he going to Barstow? It's hotter than hell, and people are like literally doing fentanyl in the street.
Yeah, I've been watching people in the ROSSY'S 6 talking about it. Yeah. Barstow's there. I got a picture with one of these brick sort of stanchion signs with a car on the side and ROSSY'S 6, but I'm not kidding. It was fucking shit, the whole place. And I know exactly where the McDonald's is because I've got it marked up because there's something there that I want a picture of Sam with. So when we do it next time, we're going to go through the Marine base, which is next to it. And the Marine base, Marine Corps Logistics Base, Barstow, I've got a ROSSY'S 6 monument there. So I'm going to see if I can get in to get that, then drive along to that bit where the McDonald's is. What have I written next to that McDonald's? For Samuel, that's it. There's a large Ronald McDonald, and I put in the saved for Samuel to sit next to Ronald McDonald, and then we're going to fuck off.
Yes. Wow. Yeah.
And he wants to go up to there for that.
It's one of the things, but he loves that kind. He like old Coca-Cola, that kind of Americana kind of stuff. But
there's lots of there's amazing murals on the walls as well around the area, down the main high street, the ROSSY'S 6 road. There was one
thing he said that he was telling me kind of matter of factly. Well, you can get a Mexican Coke for $6 someplace, and I was like, $6. I said, you know what? I know a lot of restaurants do that. They charge like exorbitant prices.
You can go into Ralph's and probably pick up a Mexican Coke in there for like $3.
which is exactly what I did for exactly that price. When we went to stock up, we went to the I went down the aisle where you can get the Mexican food. The thing with Mexican Cokes, John, is that it's made with actual sugar and the actual
I know,
Coke
because I've had
recipe.
some.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I had Mexican Coke for John when he came here with Sam.
Oh, okay.
And,
Yeah,
and I had some when we were at the border places, and I also had some at a Mexican place in Rochester. Because I took a picture of the bloody bottle and went, "Look at these, Rossi."
I don't remember every picture you took. There are many, unlike me, of which there are few. So he had gone. So he had gone to Disneyland, and he had gone to.
Did he go on a
So
special
hang on.
LGBTQIA day for Disneyland?
He went to Disneyland by himself.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my! Were the police watching him?
No, because he didn't go to. Well, this was the wife doesn't give a shit about this stuff tour. So this is I forgot what the other place he went to was. Anyway?
Did he leave with an ankle bracelet?
No.
With Mickey Mouse ears on it.
No. Oh well. You know what he did get?
Arrested.
Well,
the clap.
You know what he got? You know what he did get that was questionable.
Go on.
So he went to Galaxy's Edge. What do you buy in Galaxy's Edge?
The
Star Wars land.
Lightsaber.
Something for a child to entice them.
Baby Yoda.
John's a little closer. Nope. Flint.
Star Wars sweeties.
Nope. No, questionable.
Questionable.
Darth Vader fleshlight.
Nope. Something they actually make.
Oh, make?
Yeah, something that you can actually buy there.
Like a Build-A-Bear thing of Grogu or something.
No,
edible
binders. You know when
what? So you can bind the children's arms behind the back.
You know when they're trying to put the fake Star Wars handcuffs on Chewbacca and don't worry about it. They make those and they make them and they've got like a little and they mass market. It's not something that's just made for Galaxy's Edge that doesn't have like a card. It's like
he bought a pair of furry handcuffs
attached to the card, and they're Star Wars.
Is this before he met you? He was there.
Yes.
So you obviously when you get to San Diego, you were wearing them at night time, were you?
Well, actually, no. He was.
I bet you fucking put them on.
No, he.
I guarantee he did.
No, he didn't because.
And you went.
No, you, not him.
No, they were stuck on the card. They're still stuck on the card. You sent a picture last night of all the loot he's bought, and they're still stuck on the card. So, you can buy Star Wars binders of all things, and that's what he got. So,
here, John, I'll put it in the chat. What they.
By the way,
what he got.
By the way, he. This was. I saw him on.
It's in the Teams chat.
Oh, okay. I hit something buzz, and I was like, "Oh shit, the guy's already here." I did see him. He did pick me up at work on Monday, and Tuesday was the day he went to Disneyland. Monday night, we kind of walked around Pasadena a little bit, and he got a picture with my cardboard cutout, and got to see the store and all that kind of stuff. So we hit the road. We're on the freeway.
It's not the cardboard cutout with the holes in it.
No, it's well preserved in the back room now. Nobody touches it. It just. In fact, the face is to the wall, so it doesn't scare the new people. So, we went to Florence Street, which is in the middle of Catchafade County. It's in the funny thing is it's in a bad neighborhood, but that cross section is actually really nice. So, like they fixed it up pretty good, and I don't know if it's because of the McDonald's or what happened, but and the McDonald's is in really good shape, and so he wanted to get a picture under the sign and in front of the place. And they have like a little museum off to the side, which is basically like 3 rooms and then the bathrooms, and they had like the old-timey cash registers. And so he and a big sandwich board sign out front explaining how it was originally
Ray
called
Kroc fucked over the original owners
in the most polite language ever. It's kind of like the Ray Kroc tribute museum. That's like, and then the founder did this, and then the founder did that, and so they have like these recordings playing while you're in the museum. Ray Kroc donated so much money to this cause, and so the one thing, you remember those Mac Tonight ads, Flint? Were you here when those were a thing?
party.
The Mac Tonight, where there was the guy with the big moon face. He looked like one of the Jedis from the Phantom
Oh
Menace.
no, I'm sure Barney knows those ads.
Yeah, so they had the first Mac Tonight costume in the glass case there. That was kind of cool. But yeah, so then we hit the road. We got to the
what vehicle did he have?
Oh, it was a big SUV. I'm terrible with car makes and whatever. I'll ask him.
Was it as cool as our Jeep?
Nothing's as cool as your Jeep. But
I knew he'd get something that was boring.
No, to be fair, it was a close second. It was big.
Fuck, no way would he be as cool as me.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it was definitely second place. But to be fair, you only got your cool Jeep because they wouldn't take your fucking credit card or your cash.
The debit card.
Yeah. Yeah.
All those years I've gone without a credit card. I had to get one now.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, that's the US for you. Everything's on credit.
I know.
Simon was pissed off because there was one place that wouldn't accept cash. Yeah. Yeah. He was like, you have to pay. You have to use credit.
What was that for? What was the cash thing, the fiasco then? Because if it wasn't a major thing, I'd have just walked out and left it on the counter.
Oh, I don't remember. I think it was it food?
Oh yeah, I'd have definitely just fucking walked out.
I think it was a food thing.
Yeah.
So he had his rented vehicle, and we got to the Airbnb, and so the photos of the inside of the Airbnb looked beautiful, but it looked like it was probably owned by hippies, because there's like macrame all over the walls and one of those salt rock crystal things, and Flint knows what I'm talking about. So
did it smell like patchouli and sweat?
Oh my god! It wasn't patchouli. I actually have this. They were giving them away free in the break room because they didn't sell. You can get this pump spray that says makes your house smell like a Hindu temple. So it's this kind of like oily, sweet, flowery smell. So
it makes your house smell as though there's been loads of men coming in it.
It was.
So you've been to ROSSY'S then?
It was very, very mild, but
bad film night. That's when that happens.
Here's the thing. The pictures look great. And
you like gladiator movies?
When we got there, it was fine. But the neighborhood was this typical San Diego seaside neighborhood, where it's like this little house probably owned by hipster hippies looks great. The house next to it looks like a crack house. The house next to it is probably got like 50 Mexicans in it, because if you live out here in LA,
multi-family housing.
Yeah, if you live out here in LA, and if you know, like my mom is from one of those neighborhoods, you know exactly what that looks like and what to look for. So
does it have a stone line in the front painted gold?
Pretty much. Well, the Mexican flag hanging out in the front is kind of the side too.
There you go.
So
you have a shrine to Mary and built into the gate.
Oh, you mean the Virgin of Guadalupe? Yes.
Yeah.
You see a lot of those, the votive candles. I didn't want to tell him this, but we did pass there's this thing that they do if someone gets shot and killed in a gang fight, especially if it's a child, they'll put a bunch of candles like right there.
Yeah,
on
they'll
the
have a
sidewalk.
cross. They'll have a cross and flowers
and like the bike that they rode, and they'll literally make a shrine right there on the sidewalk where that happens. So so we passed at least one of those, and I was like, oh God. And then right across, so we were
in the ghetto.
Yep. So the
mama cried.
So the
It's like Cartman in the ghetto.
In the ghetto. So across the street, so we're on the corner, directly across the street on the same corner is this house that was literally the shape of a box, and it looked like about the size of a one-room. There was like a one-room box with 2 windows on the front, a door on the corner, and 2 windows on the back. And I was like, that is a crack house.
Or when you go into it, it goes all downstairs into the tunnels going across underneath the border wall.
Yes. Well, okay, so there was the crack house on the corner, the box, and I mean this was like really small. It was not just, the whole house wasn't much bigger than my living room. I mean, it was.
So you said to Simon, come for the Americana, stay for the crack house.
I was like, well, I kept calling it the fade house because you're going to rent yourself a fade in this house. It was like I've never seen an architectural structure like that in person, but I was like, it can only be one thing. I mean, and so Simon was like, well, maybe it's just a power. It looks like it's a power.
Where they store like a generator or something.
Yeah, but I mean,
or it could be where aliens landed and thinking that they're going to disguise themselves and fit into human culture, so they built what they thought a house looks like.
It was so weird. No matter whatever it was weird. And then there was this empty lot that you had. It was an empty lot with like a slope down. Like you'd have to like walk over to the edge and then look down to see what was in this empty lot right behind it. And it was because it had like this beat down fence. And
probably where they dumped the bodies, Rossy.
Well, or that's where the hole leading to Tijuana was. So, and then this kind of rundown 2-story apartment complex was right next to it. So, and by rundown, I mean like it looked like they took something from Tijuana and transplanted it, right there. Right. It was a weird neighborhood. One of the Uber drivers even told us that he was hesitant to come into this neighborhood to come get us. So that should tell you. So we Ubered.
Oh man, it's a shame you weren't mugged. That would have been a great story.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would. You want to talk about Americana?
Yeah. So you have Rossy and Simon walking back to the little Airbnb in their underwear because they got everything stolen off them.
Oh yeah, everything. It's right out of a '80s movie. So we go to the convention center the first night, which is preview night, and previous preview nights have been like maybe a quarter full. I mean, not everybody's there that early. It's not all the dealers are up and operating. It's usually just the big ones in the central area.
Yeah, they're all trying to set up and stuff, right?
Give you a preview. Oh no. So we get there and it's a fucking mob of people, and then we had to walk from one end of the convention center to the other, and there were no signs. They were clearly,
well, that's you messed up. That's your knees gone for the week.
Oh, you don't even know the half of it. So we got. I don't know if you haven't been, you guys know exactly, but like if you haven't been there, the convention center's the size of a long city block, right? So the driver drops us off at like Hall A, and it's very clear that they're making things up as they go along inside there, because they did not expect this. I did not expect this. I don't think anybody could have expected the size of this crowd. So they're going like, nope, you got to go all the way down to Hall D, and then and Simon's like, well, he's got a VIP card as a professional. You don't go in there with the hoi polloi, right? And I'm like, well, yeah, unless you're Samuel L. Jackson or Robert Downey Jr. or one of those guys, who gets sequestered in from the Marriott hotel. Yeah, they were all in there. So then it was like Hall D, and then so literally we go all the way to Hall G, which is like where the convention ends. It's the entire length of the block. Get in. Then you have to go all the way back to the middle of the convention center to take the escalator up, and then you have to go from the escalator across that kind of open area where they have all the B celebrities and do all the signings. You go in there and you're in this massive double back.
Isn't Hall H the Hall of the Dead?
Hall H, they had to set up an encampment of tents. There's this big grassy area.
Isn't that the one where celebrities go to die?
Well, apparently Marvel's killed it, so there's really nothing they can do at this point for me. They're like, oh, Ryan Gosling's like Ghost Rider. It's like Ryan Gosling's like fucking 50 something years old, and they're what's his face from Ghost. Both the Ghost Riders were like in their 20s and maybe 30s. The 70s one and the other one. So it's like you got these old farts playing superheroes again. And but I like Ryan Gosling. He was cool in the Alien movie.
Hail Mary is a great movie, dude.
I liked Hail Mary. It was kind of manipulative, but it was good. It's fine.
Manipulative?
Yeah, I mean, it's like this cute little alien, and they have their little friendship, and it was fine. I liked it.
We're gonna have fucking arguments when I get into my review of it.
Oh, okay.
How dare you say it's manipulative?
I mean, it can be good, but manipulative. I mean, it's.
Okay. So, would you expect the alien to look mean and angry and kill people?
No, but it's just.
It reminded me of an 80s. We'll get to it, but it reminded me of an 80s movie.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. 80s movies are manipulative too. I mean,
aren't all movies manipulative, Rossi?
In a manner of speaking, but some of them are just like in your face. It was the whole alien thing was like really cutesy. So I don't know if that's comes across in the book, but it was fine. So you
know what would have made it worse for you?
What?
If Tarantino directed it.
Oh, yeah. It'd be 4 hours long, and they'd be sitting around smoking and talking about.
And the alien would show his feet all the time because he has a fetish.
Right. They'd be smoking and talking about 70s music and movies and just whatever interests Tarantino.
Then you'd have to throw in some scenes from Silent Running that he did himself, like because he's inspired. And in 2001: A Space Odyssey, he has to have the chimps in there throwing bones.
Somehow he would make 2001 even slower. Yeah, all that. so
Once Upon a Space Odyssey, coming from Quentin Tarantino.
Okay, so there's this fucking alien, okay, and like he's really cool, and he likes all this 70s stuff, like, right? Because he's been picking up like all the radio stations and satellite, okay? And so like he really likes like 70s funk and 70s soul, okay? And he's really into Sly and the Family Stone, and then they play some Sly and the Family Stone, okay? All right, and then they're like dancing and shit. So yeah, that's how much thought's gonna go into that movie. Anyway. So we get in and we have to. So we get in. We're in this huge double back line. We're not in the line, but we're like the corral that they're supposed to put us in is completely full of people in this double back. So we're in the spillover, and and they're supposed to let us in at 6. And so by this point it's like 6:20 or something. So this lady comes by and she goes, you can just go in. She says the doors are open. They're just letting people in now. And we're like, oh, okay. So a lot of us just kind of like leave the line and go head towards the escalator, and we go down the escalator, and there's stanchions, and you can't just go in. You
never listen to the old lady.
We get herded.
She took your spot.
Well, we get herded back out, and they're letting people. Meanwhile, the double back thing, they're letting people just in chunks. Not, you can't just like all go in. So we go out, and then we're outside again, and then we have to walk over to this other hall, and they do let us in, and then we have to go back up the escalator again.
So they didn't have a proper running of the nerd.
No,
Do you know what that is, John? The running of the nerd.
I have no idea.
It's when they open the doors and all the nerds start running to all the booths to get the exclusives.
Oh, right.
They filmed it.
Well, it wasn't a proper running of the nerd, but that's exactly what happened. And so we had to. So basically, we went around. We did 2 laps around the convention center, top to bottom, and then by that time, and because, so I talk about my shitty knees a lot, but when I'm going in a straight line, when I'm just walking, I can hold up pretty well. It's starting and making abrupt starts and stops.
It's the turning that gets you.
No, I can even turn, but like this abrupt starts and stops. And there's this millennial and Zoomer way of walking where it's like they look where they're going, and then anything between there is like, fuck you. So I'll be like, I'll see somebody coming right at me, move out of the way, fuck you. And then this other millennial who's also doing the same goddamn thing, but coming from a different direction, bumps right into me. And I can walk through a convention center and see people with bags on their backs and somehow avoid contact with them. But I had my gay little flight bags over my shoulder and mostly on my back. It's not very big. It's smaller than most backpacks.
That's what she said.
But you're welcome. But I have never been so jostled around a convention center in my life
since the last movie night.
And I nearly tripped over, and I don't mean like whoopsie, I mean like fucking tripped over.
Did you have your life alert with you? Your button? I've fallen and I can't get up.
I didn't fall, but the way that the strollers just like appear out of nowhere, and it's like, here's my kid stroller, fuck you, and it's really difficult to walk through. There's like not a lot of personal space between people just walking up and down the aisles. And this mother had a kid. What's that video game with Master General or whatever they made the Apple TV series out of? It's one of the shoot 'em up games. It's not Doom. It's help
Halo.
Me out. Halo. Yeah. So there was this mom who had her kid dressed up like the guy from Halo, and then they had a battery operated car that they're driving up and down the aisles in the convention center. And I was like, God damn it, if the kid can't walk, if I can walk it, the fucking kid can walk it. If the kid can't walk, then what the fuck with this car? So but it was,
don't make me angry. You wouldn't like Rossy when he's angry.
Oh God. But I did notice that I have to admit, I am definitely amongst the seniors there. Like the median age is somewhere between 20 and 40. And then you see some 50-year-olds, but I'm on the higher end of 50. Well, this year I might as well say I'm 60. So
60.
Did you see Death Stalk the convention with all you old farts at it now?
No, there aren't.
I noticed all the panels. I did notice the panels. I saw some photographs of a lot of the panels. I'm like, oh my God, those people are in their 70s now.
Yes.
Like there's no real young guys up there talking comics or talking this or talking that. They're all dying off.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip to the last day I was there. So Ben Dunn, a friend of the podcast, he
I love Ben.
Yeah, so Ben, and I was wearing my Shaman Kane shirt, so there was a lot of friends of the podcast. They're either there or they're in spirit, and so it was me, Simon, Ben's wife. We went to the Eisner Lifetime Achievement Award, and it was in a very small room because it's not the Eisners, it's not the award for the year, it's just the Lifetime Achievement, and it was as you said, it was Jackie Estrada, who's been running the convention for like ever.
Oh yeah.
she was there, and she's pretty damn old. And Paul Levitt was there from DC Comics, old. Dennis Cohen, even Dennis Cohen. I mean, he's, I remember when he started Milestone, and I was there at San Diego the year that they had their debut booth, and they were all there, and the other Milestone guys were there too, taking pictures. And I'm trying to think, Colleen Doran was there, Jeff Smith from Bone, he was there.
He looked really haggard.
He did very much so.
Hippie needs a haircut. That's what I was thinking when I saw him.
He looks like they took one of the hobbits and just stretched them out. I mean,
that's
honestly,
a great description.
Between the look on his face, the look of his face, and the haircut, he had like the Hobbit haircut, and he looks like he belongs in the Shire somewhere. So I'm trying to think of who else was there. Ben's no spring chicken either, and honestly, neither am I.
Yeah, but Ben's Asian. He can kind of get away with it. He looks like what's his name, Walter from Tremors. He looks like the store owner.
Is that the same guy from Big Trouble in Little China?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He'll be the first to admit that too.
Yeah, that's who he looks like. So he can get away with it.
In fact, when he was a lot younger, he told me that that guy, the young guy, was his hero. He says that's the first time he's seen an Asian in an American movie kick ass.
Does he? I wonder if he has people coming up and say, "Hey, aren't you the actor? Blah blah blah.
Aren't you?
Can we take a picture? Can we take a picture with you?" I wonder if he gets, because he does look exactly like him.
He would be honored.
You should go with it.
Yeah, I mean, roll with it. So,
mm-hmm.
So anyway, he was he could egg roll with it. So he. So Tom Palmer's son was there. I'm trying to think. Anyway, so it was an eye-opener because there was only the two presenters on stage at all times, and then they had all the awards lined up, and everybody took theirs when they went. And I'm at a loss for who else.
I'm surprised they gave an award to Dave Sim.
Yeah, I am too.
I'm actually shocked that they gave it to him. Because yeah. I'm sure during the height of all the PC crap, he didn't get a look in at all.
I think at this point they just kind of like had to. I mean,
right.
there's no getting around the 300 issues and everything else. It's almost like you have to give it to him now before he shoots his mouth off and things get worse.
So. Yeah. It's like I remember Scott Adams saying that one year he used to want to try and win the newspaper awards, like the news strip awards, like Cartoonist Award.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what the name of the trophy was, or the award, but every year they'd give it to Peanuts, right?
Oh, yeah.
And then eventually, he ended up winning it, and then he realized when he talked to members of the panel after, they said that they felt they had to give it to somebody new. It had nothing got to do with his work or if they found it great, funny, or any of that. It's just that we felt we had to give it to somebody new.
Right.
So all the awards thing, he said, it's all the awards that they give are all bullshit. Unless there's a monetary value attached to it, they don't mean anything.
Well, I mean, you could, if you wanted to be mean, you could argue like of all the cartoonists in the world, Dennis Cohen. But he's real. They showed his artwork, and it's easy to forget how really good he is. So he's really good. The thing is, like, you see a lot of the. Do you know who Mike Royer is?
Yeah, he's an inker. He inked Kirby.
Yeah, so he won one. It was a lot of guys like him. So you see these guys.
Well, you got to give it to them before they croak it.
Well, there were a lot of people who had croak, but then like the sons and daughters or whoever accepted it. The guy who created Dragon Ball also got one, but they just sent a message from Japan thanking everybody. So it really it really brought home it was this, and weirdly enough Simon kept asking questions like, so what was, it's like, so what was the convention like before, Grandpa? And it I hadn't thought about it in a while, and I was like, well, the convention center used to be a little bit smaller. They like around the 2000s they added like a third of the space onto it, but that's
Well,
still
it kind of keeps on growing every year, though, right?
not the convention center, not physically, no, but it'll
spill out into different areas.
Well, that's the thing too. Like, remember when we went in 2017, directly across the street on the other side of the trolley tracks, we walked by all that stuff, and it was all that like experience stuff, like the Kong Island thing, and then they had those people doing Ninjago martial arts aerobics.
Yeah.
And then there was
did he have any of that this time?
Nope. Completely clear. Yeah. So that was weird. Then they had that mock-up town for The Walking Dead. Nope. Were you there when they had this? When they had the that parking lot was like the Simpsons Village?
No, I don't think we were there for that one.
Or South Park? They've done that parking lot's been Simpsons Town or South Park Town.
They had none of that this time.
Nope. They had one person. They had like a Percy Jackson screen going, and that was about it across the street. And then there was even one year when, and that year we went, it was kind of like a little lower key, because like prior to that they did a big thing for Scott Pilgrim across the street, and they kind of learned their lesson that just because a movie goes big at Comic-Con, it's not going to go big at the box office. And then this year it was just kind of like, yeah, fuck that shit altogether. You're just lucky we're here.
Yeah, do you notice a lot more comic people there, or I mean, like vendors, or less?
Oh, so okay, so I'm gonna say less, but here's the caveat. This ties into what we were talking about before. So for the Eisners, they would say the name of the person, and then there was like almost like a before and after picture of them young, and then them old and slumped over the drawing board, and then there'd be, and I'm not exaggerating either, most of these people got the back hunch, and then they'd show like 3 iconic images of their work, and all of them were beautiful. There was like some old-timey newspaper cartoonists, and there were even like one of the guys, he had done, they were trying to say like he had done the most comic book pages. I think he holds the Guinness Book World Record for it, and he had done like old-timey historical adventures with knights and funny animals, and just
more. They think he did more comic book pages than Jack Kirby.
Yeah,
I doubt that very much.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, the family like calculated, like he said, he kind of wanted that record, so he went through all his records and invoices and cataloged all the back issues he'd collected. They sent him like not only just a sample of each thing as it got published, but also whatever else was being published by that company. So he had like a ton of old-time comics. I forgot the guy's name.
I'd have to question that now.
Okay, so
because
anyway,
Kirby was doing around over 1,000 pages a year.
Yeah,
in some cases.
Yeah, you'd have to. Well, I mean, you can. I forgot the guy's name, but if you did like Guinness Book most comic pages or whatever, you could look it up.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up while you're talking.
Because that's more interesting. So
no, go ahead.
So anyway, these images kept going by, just beautiful artwork. Even Colleen Doran, that sci-fi soap opera thing she did.
She's a good artist.
Wandering Star, I think it was called. Just great stuff. And I was like, man, that's why I fell in love with comics, especially because like there was no movie, there was no computer digital artwork, or there was no way of seeing that outside of a comic book drawn by artists. There was no, you couldn't do that kind of thing in a movie. It was just, it was just beautiful. And then you look at the people who are doing it, and it's like, when these people are gone, it's done. It's over. I mean, technically, not very many of them are still active, and a lot of them have slowed down quite a bit. But like when they're done and gone, that is all. And when you look at when you go back down to the dealer's room, there's all these, like, 40, 50-year-olds who do not care about that, because like you said, on preview night, it was a beeline for the exclusive toys. Simon gave this raised eyebrow to a guy who had like 3 bags just full of Funko Pops. And then there was another one that had been to Hasbro and is like 3 or 4 bags of exclusives. And, now comics are all about the blind bags and variant covers.
Yeah, that's the big thing now.
Nobody's reading the content on the inside.
Hey, Rossy, who was the Guinness Book of Records for the most published works by one author?
Is it Jack Kirby?
No, I'm shocked you don't know this. The most published works by one author.
Oh, I don't know. Is it L. Ron Hubbard?
Yes. There you go.
And why do I know? Because they would push for that.
Yeah, there you go.
They're gonna be the ones to create that category and then submit the submit
so they
all
can
that.
claim it. Yeah.
Yep. So, he wrote a lot of stuff. Most of it was good. So, but yeah, it's the convention. So the thing that got me thinking, like, what was the convention like? Well, it was the convention this year was a lot like when you guys were there almost 10 years ago. And it's a lot of the same vendors and dealers and all that, except now there's like way more of the plush toys, cutesy
where
critters.
Squishy's a big thing. You know what Squishies are?
Believe me, we have not a day goes by when we don't get some kid on the phone going, "Do you have any Neato?" And it's like, well, we have the off-brand Squishies because the Neatos are scarce.
Squishies are the big thing, now for kids. Because my granddaughter, she's Squishy crazy.
Yes, and of all the toys that have like limited playability and are going to be just filthy and gross in 2 months if
Squishies.
Sooner. Yeah, and plush toys too. It's like, once you've cuddled them, once you've got the oil from your face on that thing, it's not going to look good after a while. And they shouldn't, I guess. But I mean, they shouldn't be locked away.
You sure you mean oil in your case?
Well, it can be
but it looks like plush toy of Carl Monroe. I mean, there you go. It won't be more than oil.
all the bodily things. Anyway, it's a lot of the same dealers from like 10 years ago, and in some cases, like with the expensive original art guys, it's like from a long time ago. Oh, Bud Plant was there too.
Yeah, he got an award.
He doesn't even sell there anymore. He was like, well, I'm just a vendor who sometimes published, but he had.
Yeah, he stopped doing the show, didn't he?
Yeah, a long time ago.
But he was given. I think he was there because they gave him an award.
Yeah, no, that's I was there. He was there in the room. But that booth was like, I mean, it was at the front and center of the convention center, and I would get the catalog, and then that'd be the last you'd see of me for a few days, because it was just the Sears wish book. It was just back the truck up and give me one of everything.
What was the highlights of the stuff that you saw there? Your own personal highlights. I know you had to look at a Deja Thoris figure.
I didn't see it in person.
Where'd you get the photos from? Simon?
Yeah, Simon. He went. He went to the Frazetta. That was the Frazetta Girls panel. I didn't go to that. But
I think his daughter runs that, right? Frank Frazetta's daughter runs it.
The two of them, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why they call them the Frazetta Girls, and they're doing a great job. They're keeping it going.
I have an original. I have a print, a Frank Frazetta Debt Dealer print signed by Frank.
Ooh, and you haven't retired yet, huh?
No.
Just sell it and retire. Damn. Yeah, the L. Ron Hubbard people had a portfolio of prints of Frank Frazetta art that he had done for them, and on the last day, I guess. Well, I'd gone by there earlier with Simon, and we're talking to him, and I did my yearly buy a few things, and then like he went by afterwards after I'd left, and I guess last day of the convention, last hour, they gave him the Frazetta folio. It was like a envelope that had like 6 or 7 of them in it because they didn't want to schlep it home. And I was like, God damn it, Simon. And you won't even read their book. You won't even read Battlefield Earth. So that, because they gave me like a free copy because I had bought some stuff, and I was like, oh, I'll use it for evangelical purposes, kind of like gave Simon the side eye, and he was not having it. So highlights anyway. So anyway, the thing is that the convention used to be all about comics. There were no toys. If there were toys, it was like a few vendors selling things from like 10 years before. Like, you know, it was the 90s, they were selling Star Wars toys from the 80s, that kind of thing. Towards the 90s, when the toy collecting became big, it was still kind of like no $200, $300 replicas of Darth Vader and Optimus Prime and all that exclusive shit that they're putting out. And that's the thing, is like I've said before, the space of time between when Flash Gordon, Zorro, Tarzan, all those old-timey characters were popular, peak popularity at first, to when Star Wars came out, is about the same amount of time as when Star Wars first came out to now. But now there's, and when you went to the Comic-Con, there was always like that guy that had like a Flash Gordon rocket ship, or somebody was doing a resin kit of Flash Gordon and Ming the Merciless, or Bowen would do like a Zorro statue or stuff like that. But now there's just an endless shit ton of stuff coming out for franchises that are 40, 50 years old. And it's like it's stuck. And I didn't see anything that new or exciting. And weirdly enough, Anime Expo was held here a few weeks ago in downtown LA, and the fire marshal had to come in because they had the same size crowds out here at the LA Convention Center, but the crowd was even younger. So that's where the new stuff's happening, but it's not anything coming from America. It's all from Japan. So America is not producing anything really new and exciting. It's just regurgitating, like doing a new and exciting Darth Vader statue and a new or exciting He-Man something or another. And I think that's the difference between the con, because you would go and then it was like mostly comics, and it was whatever new thing those comic creators had put out. So there was always something new. And sometimes, and you didn't see like the same vendors. You'd see some of the same vendors year after year, but it wasn't like decade after decade. Some would drop out, and then some would come in, and then there'd be like movie people, and then there was always like people selling movies and DVDs too. And there's absolutely nothing like that at the convention anymore. Nobody's selling movies or Blu-rays except for maybe
You can't even buy a computer now with a CD tray in it or DVD tray.
Yeah, I know. Like even I think maybe like if they make movies, like Charles Band's company had a few for sale, and Troma was there. They were selling some movies, but it's not like guys who just sell movies.
Right.
None of that was, or the gray market stuff, even, just none of it. So yeah, so it's really become repetitious, and just more and more crowds, more and more walking around. At this point, like even I always try to go through small press and Artist's Alley, mostly small press.
Well, you saw Al there, didn't you?
I saw Al in the small press area, and then
Niall.
Chris the Super Surfer told me to check out this guy who does a book called Apna. The guy's last name was Sakura. Anyway, he told me to look for that guy. He was there, so I bought something from him. But at this point, like small press, it's a lot of the same people that were there last year and the year before. And I'm at the point, like, if I didn't buy it in the last 5 years, I'm not going to buy it now, you know. And then I went by Keen Spot, but I couldn't make the Keen Spot panel. Well, I could have, but it was at the exact same time as the punk in Los Angeles, punk rock art thing with Not Punk Jerry from Devo. And did I tell you what the deal was with that?
What?
No.
So we get there. So Ben Dunn took us to dinner, and we got out just in enough time. And I wasn't even like looking at my watch. We just happened to get out in just enough time to get to the thing before it started. To get to that before it started, it's like, oh, we can just make it. So we go in, standing room only, except for a few seats here and there. Grabbed one of the seats. It was like, I knew who.
Then it's not standing room only, Rossi.
Well, I mean, there were people standing in the back.
Right.
So the do you know who KRK Ryden is, Flint?
No.
Because you know the cool artist. He does this like kind of weird. Actually, his work kind of looks like if who's the guy who does sort of the smearing artwork for 2000 AD?
Nick Percival.
So if Nick Percival did the Love Is cartoons.
Oh my God.
It's like this kind of dreamish, smeary, but really disturbing stuff. A lot of kids with big heads kind of thing. But he did get his start in the punk scene. But it's like these guys with, it's like you're in your 60s and then you got like this crazy white beard, crazy big long white beard or a mohawk, and you're still trying to rock the punk thing. And I was like,
yeah, but the thing is, Devo isn't punk, so you're all right.
Well, no. It was like the guys on the stage were, still trying to be punk, and a lot of people in the audience. There was a.
There's nothing sadder than that. There really isn't.
Oh, I have to get down and take care. I think I can take the phone with me, so hopefully I won't get disconnected. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, you see these guys and they're like wrinkled, and it's very clear they're dyeing their hair, and they're still wearing like their Misfits T-shirt and the leather jacket with.
It's like seeing Cliff Richard trying to do his songs again. He can hardly move. Have you seen that clip, John?
Yeah,
it's pretty sad. Or Barry Manilow. I mean, they're better off just putting animatronic versions of them out on stage. They'd be better off.
Barry Manilow's like so Botoxed up, it doesn't even look like it. It looks like the Madame Tussauds version of.
No, the bad Madame Tussauds, the one on Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh God, yeah. Oh well, no, that Madame Tussauds is pretty good. You're talking about the Hollywood Wax Museum.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The ones with all they look terrible.
The really bad ones. So, well, actually, the ones that are even worse are like the heavy metal guys that are still touring. Oh, we're gonna go through the fans as I head down to the garage.
Dun dun dun.
Yep.
You'll have to tell us about the. You'll have to tell us about the Rebellion booth.
Oh yeah, so.
Well, go open the door and let them in.
Well, I can. I'll just take you down. Can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
He's taking us down to Alphabet Street.
Hmm.
The alphabet people. Oh, this is the worst of it.
I don't hear any fans going off to you.
This is where the actual bloody
Have you got your canoe, Rossy, to go across your flooded floor?
No, luckily we caught it all. I was so quick on the draw with the vacuum cleaner, I might not actually have to deal with it.
So is your dad going to send a bill to your neighbor?
Looks like
He's gone. Can't really hear him.
And,
Hello, 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 hello.
I don't know if I can stay out this one.
It'd be funny if you hear it scream and he like fell on his butt.
Yeah.
Down and fell down the stairs. You hear as he hits each step.
I'm gonna have to compromise a little.
That's what she said.
I'm gonna
You gonna speak Spanish to the workers?
oh God, then they'll really not understand me.
Are you going to clean out a carpet though?
Hello, the workers. Be careful with this gentleman. He's a known psychopath.
Oh, by the way, speaking of rebellion, you know what they were giving away at their booth? And you can have this just for the asking.
What they were giving away? Tissues to cry into when they see how shit the Rogue Trooper film is.
You could use it for that. Mega City Max Sci-Fi Special.
No, the one with all the Regine stuff in it, with all the LGBTQ stuff.
Yep.
Oh,
Norman.
jeez.
Yeah, all these featuring all these names you don't know who they are. Hannah Templar, Oliver Gerlach, UU Glass, Ramsey, Roger Landreth. Well, we know that.
Well, Roger Landreth is good.
Yeah. Scream 40 Years of Terror special and 2000 AD sci-fi special 2024. I got
Giving
those.
it away, eh?
Giving them away. Give it away now. So
tells you everything, doesn't it? Tells you everything.
Simon got one of the badges, one of the pins too.
We don't need no stinking badges.
So what was
you know what? I was actually impressed at their layout. It looked like a really good layout, and the way the Rogue Trooper statuette was set up, or the big statue thing.
Oh yeah. Oh, just to close the book on the punk rock thing. So there was a drag queen there too, who I believe was actually Little Miss Hot Mess. There were actually a few drag queens going around the convention center, but this one was especially made up with the glitter beard and the whole thing. But the way they did, so I was all like, oh, the guy Devo, yes. So he wasn't there. They put him on a Zoom. They put him on a big screen.
Fucking hell.
So the Devo guy wasn't there.
But he was not physically there.
You know why? You know why? Because he realized it'll be a sham because he's not punk.
Yes.
So, well, I mean, there are other people who could argue it better than I can, but I'm not.
Well, no. I said to Marnie, I said, Rossi's going to see the Devo part of a punk thing. And she goes, Devo aren't punk, they're synth rock.
Well, I mean, everything from Whip It onward, but those first.
They said that they don't have. You said that they don't have a diaper pin going through their nipple. They're not punk.
Well. See, that's when punk became like a fashion thing. They were before they had established what punk actually was. So.
Well, then they're not punk then.
Well, I mean, they caused a lot of slam dancing in their day with some of those early songs. So,
like Whip It.
They played at Max's Kansas City and CBGB's.
They're the only one. They're the only band they're another one-hit wonder.
That's it.
Well,
it's something that Rossi loves, doesn't he? He loves a one-hit wonder.
Yeah. Doesn't just because the general public doesn't like it doesn't mean it's not good. It means that they just don't understand.
They don't understand
the level of thought. So, to answer your question about the Rebellion booth, they had a statue of the Rogue Trooper.
Hold on. Were you pissed off that the guy wasn't there? He was just a Zoom chat.
It was a bit of an eye roll, and also, to be honest, like we were saying, it's time to let some things go, and we'll talk about it off the thing, but he has a new song out, which he's got a solo thing going on. He put out a solo album that was essentially him plus half the guys from Devo that aren't Mark Mothersbaugh and some other musicians. And the solo album was pretty good, but it's a lot meaner and harder than Devo. And then his new solo stuff, it just sounds like it's a bunch of cobbled together ideas that aren't entirely fleshed out. And the new song I'm not in love with at all. And then some of the things he says unfiltered, he doesn't have the record company saying like, don't say that there. They were always like tough, a hard interview because they thought it was hilarious to make the interviewers look like idiots. And it was pretty funny, but it's not going to help your career in the long run. And now,
especially you releasing a solo album when you're 806 years old.
Well, no, he released it. It's all the solo album feels like it was more than 10 years ago now. But the new songs, it's been like that new thing that they do where they can release a song whenever they have a great idea because of iTunes and Spotify. It doesn't matter if you have a 12 song, you just put the single out. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, so he's on the screen, and then of course they have tech problems with the Zoom, and he's his usual kind of like difficult awkward interview, and so I was kind of like, you know what? It's not that I'll always love them, but I don't need to keep following this. So it's time to.
Did you go to the Rogue Trooper thingamajig?
No, but Simon did, and that was his report was like that little paragraph.
So it's just as bad as the time we went there when we were there a decade ago.
What I did go to was they had another one called Fear the Future, and Duncan Jones was the centerpiece of that, and Paul Cornell was one of the other.
Paul Cornhole.
Well, I mean, so they were all dancing. They were all using.
He's such a doofus.
Well, and it was two awkward women. One had the blue hair, and then there was there was one who had the blue hair, and again going back to the punk rock thing, was probably a little too old to be doing the blue hair thing, and there was another guy who I think he was a sci-fi writer of some kind, and they were talking about dystopia, and they were saying like, basically they were trying to say like
all positive stuff.
Well, they were trying to say like, did we bring about dystopia by writing about dystopia, and when did you decide that dystopia wasn't cool? And
yawn.
Yeah, it was, and they were dancing around the T word. They didn't want to full on go Trump or talk about. They might have been told actually not to mention certain things because they really, you could tell that they really wanted to go there and they were dancing around it. But and then I forgot what they had asked Duncan Jones, and he's.
Is your movie gonna be understandable to Americans? Because you put all these regional British accents in there, UK accents.
So
you'll have Bill Oddie going "Icky thump" halfway through Rogue Trooper.
To be fair, okay, so he seemed really super nice, and Simon got. Oh yeah. Also for the asking is the.
Does he think pushing the Rogue Trooper campaign on Blue Sky is going to actually have any Impact.
Oh shit! I wonder if Simon did leave behind. They had the poster by
Chris Weston.
Yeah, we got a few of those, so I'll have to check and make sure that Simon left those extras for us if you want one.
Well, the best thing to do is try and sell them now, because when that movie comes out, you're not going to be able to ship them.
Unless you love either Chris Weston or Rogue Trooper.
Yeah.
So
you're not going to be able to ship them.
Well, I am a man of my word, because last year they were giving away poster rolls that had the had Rogue Trooper on it, and so Simon said, "Oh, can I have one?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." So, but I didn't know how to mail it, and then I just kept it for him and gave it to him when he was here.
That was nice.
And then, he was very happy. But what he didn't realize, what he thought was that it was the Rogue Trooper, because I still kept it in the plastic that they were giving it out in. So he thought it was a poster wrapped around the outside of a tube so you could see what the poster looked like.
Oh.
And I said, no, there's adhesive on it, and that is the outside of the tube, is Rogue Trooper. And he's like, oh, that's kind of cool. So he got that signed by Duncan Jones too. So he was pretty happy. There's a fellow, John, do you guys know a guy named Oliver Pickles?
Well, he's one of the graphic novel editors or something.
Yes. So he was there, and Simon was talking to him, and I was like, I'm not that interested. And the Rebellion booth is half a aisle away from.
What a terrible name! How can you take anybody serious if his name is Oliver Pickles?
Oh, I know. Which is worse, that or Jason Atomic?
Johnny, it's like I want you to meet a friend of mine. His name is Johnny Hand Sandwich. Over here,
right? Well, the guy who did the theme to his name's Oliver Onions. So maybe they could.
There you go, onion and pickles.
Maybe they could team up, Pickles and Onions.
Pickled onion.
So the Antarctic Press booth is literally half an aisle away from Rebellion. So I wandered over there, and they actually asked me to sit in for them because one of them had gone up to get some exclusive somewhere. So I hung out there for about an hour, and then Simon comes back, and I'm like, oh my God, I think he talked to that guy for an hour. Because I peek over there and I could see him still, taking the guy's time. I was like, dude, but I'm sure he liked to chat from his fellow countrymen. Still there?
Yeah, we're listening to you.
Okay. So they had a couple of English ladies too that were handing out the sci-fi specials. They had the pins. They sold out of the pins. They were like, and they sold out of the Make Dread Fiction Again one apparently the first day. You guys saw the photos I posted them. If you can, anyone who's listening who isn't in the magazine or 1977 2000 AD, they're all there. They had a couple of the what do they call those, Ace editions, or the Apex. They had a couple of the Apex editions on display. They had the Rogue Trooper action figure with some of the pins that they sold out of the pins. They had
the action figures are the ones made by, what's the name of that company? Oh God, they're the same ones that did the Dread ones.
Yeah, no, not Weta. Was it Weta? It might have been Weta. No, they're Mezco.
I'm trying to remember now. Anyways, they're the same size, the same height.
It looks great.
Same height as Micronauts.
No, there's
bing, bing, bing.
It's much bigger than that.
That's what she said.
Way taller than that.
Yes,
but it's a great looking action figure. Let's sort of put credit where credit is due. I mean, the panel was an eye roller, and we all knew it was going to be.
Hiya Toys. That's the name of them.
Oh, okay. So credit where credit is due. The Fear the Future panel, that wasn't really a Rebellion thing, and it was an eye roller, and we all knew it was going to be. Rogue, the actual 2000 AD Galaxy's Greatest panel. Simon's kinder than I am for that sort of thing, and he thought it was a bit of an eye roller too. By comparison, he thought the Frazetta Girl panel was great, and he's not even like, he likes Frazetta, but he's not like the fan that I am, especially of the Edgar Rice Burroughs type stuff. So for him to say like that, Vegethoris looked pretty great. So the booth, it's the same booth that they've had for the last several years. The booth is a big walkthrough, impressive thing, makes them look like a major publisher. They had the wall of stuff for sale. You guys saw what they had for sale. Some bizarre choices, but you know, it was displayed very well. They had a wall with all the Rogue Trooper case files and things you would need to jump into the character, and a TV playing the teaser on a loop like all day with sound.
Do you think they would have? Do you think they would have put with sound so you'd hear that fucking song over and over and over again?
Oh yeah.
Oh
not
my
loud,
god!
Not blaringly loud. Like you have to stand in front of it to hear it, but you can hear it.
No, I'm really shocked and surprised they didn't have a screening.
So that was the main thing that was really weird, was that there was no screening. Then Simon point blank asked, and I told him ahead of time. You know, he kept saying like, "There's no screen. There's no screen." I said, "It's would not be unusual for them to do a thing where like, if you went by the booth and got something signed by Duncan Jones, you would also get a ticket to something at one of the hotels later to see it or whatever, you know, or if you went to one of the panels, you would also get a thing." Because and I'll touch on this briefly because I know you don't care. I went to the Ramayana, however you pronounce it. I've heard it pronounced 3 different ways. The big Indian epic. It was in the second biggest room, that besides Hall H, this big ballroom. It was very full. I think every Indian in San Diego came to see it, and a number of white people. They showed the trailer twice. It was fucking amazing. It's the movie I wish John Carter had been, from what I'm seeing in the trailer. The stars were handsome and eloquent and just fantastic. They did a dance number when it was over, and some people didn't like the dance number. They were like, and these were like Indian people saying it was a cringy dance number. I thought it was great. I mean, how many presentations at Comic-Con have a dance number after it's over? And they handed out these tickets, and I was asking around like, what is this for? Nobody knew. And then on Instagram, I saw this lady say that if you got the ticket, you could go to this hotel nearby, and they showed the trailer in 3D, and then you got this swag bag that included a hardcover comic book adaptation of it, along with a t-shirt and a bunch of other swag. And so, but nobody said that before. I mean, I was there for the tail end of the previous presentation, and I stayed until they were warming up to do the next one, and nobody said what that ticket got you. So somehow she knew and got the loot. So I thought they would do the same thing for Rogue Trooper, but no. But I gotta say, and the thing we haven't talked about is out in front of the booth. Maybe you've seen the photos of the Rogue Trooper statue. It's the way he's going to look in the film. It looks really impressive in person. They have little bits of quartz in the grounds that he's standing on, and then attached to a wire, they had the low power mode. I might have to change to shittier acoustics. They had the gunner. They had a gunner prop that you could hold. So my friend Daniel sent me a picture of him holding it, and John, you could tell he was in the military because he held it properly.
Well done, that man.
So, but I think that they went from 0 to at least 75. I think there was like zero awareness or interest in the movie prior to the comic convention. They put out a good presentation. Duncan Jones was handsome and personable. The display in the statue got a lot of attention. People didn't know what it was before. They still kind of don't know what it is now, but they know something called Rogue Trooper. Looks like the blue shirtless man in the statue. The booth looked good, classy. So, hey, good for them, right?
Mm.
So the other things I liked. So the because I'm an old fart. There was the Edgar Rice Burroughs display panel, and I was interested in almost everything that they had, because Dynamite is no longer doing Edgar Rice Burroughs comics. Titan's going to take it over, so now it's Conan and Edgar Rice Burroughs stuff, which means, of course, they have to do crossover. They're going to do crossovers, and that panel was good, but it was also just 6 or 7 people up there reading press releases. And the girl who plays Deja Thoris on the audiobook was up there, and she seems nice and personable, but she was kind of a personality vacuum too. She really didn't have anything to, wasn't particularly funny and wasn't particularly into it. And you could tell she did a job and was now promoting it. So good for her. And then I went to the Conan panel. I got the end of it, but on the way out, they gave us a little swag bag. So it had the the Samurai Jack guy. It had that image of Conan's face that they've been using for promotion. It was on the bag, and a little fan with that image on it, and a little keep the drinks cold thing with that image on it, and it had a pin of a Conan sword, and a pin of like Marvel Conan slashing something, and I think there was a comic in there too. So that was cool. And I think that was all the panels I was able. Well, those were all the off the floor things I did. And then I sold a copy of Yor at the Antarctic Press booth, and it wasn't to me, it was to someone else. So yeah, there you go.
All right, John, do you want to do movies and TV?
Well, we might as well.
What have you watched?
I have watched, as I get my bit there ready, I finally watched bloody where the fuck is it? Project Hail Mary. 2 hours 36 minutes, 2026 film, 12-year rated, 8.2 on IMDb, starring Ryan Gosling, Sandra Hüller, a Rocky voiced by James Ortiz, etc., etc., etc. And I thoroughly enjoyed it from start to finish. And it was just, I thought the acting by Ryan Gosling, obviously against whatever the fuck he was looking at in those scenes with the Rocky creature, were excellent. I'm sure it must have been a bit longer to get more of the figuring out the language stuff. So I would like to see a longer version of it, to see that. But I thought it was brilliant. And I loved the way it was intercutting with him, what happened and how he got on the rocket.
Yeah, that was the twist for me.
Wasn't that horrendous?
Yeah.
You saw it coming. You saw it coming, and you're like, I'm not a hero. That's not my sort of thing. Well, we expected this, so we're gonna fucking now. It's been out a while, and it's come from a book, and they fucking knocked him out, so he'd be fucking forced on the flight. Fucking hell. But yeah, I thought the music was excellent. There was there's that scene where, oh my god, I had my hairs on my arms stood up. where he got knocked out, and I think that was when the music just stopped. Or what? No, it was outside when the music stopped, when he was outside the spacecraft. But when he got knocked out and Rocky's screaming to him to wake up, sort of thing, because they need to do what they have to do, otherwise it's all going to be in vain. And it's fucking, and Rocky risks his life to get him, and it's like, fucking hell. Very enjoyable. I like the way that we saw the characters who died on the flight before they would wake up, to see their interactions beforehand.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the boss of the thing doing their song. That was quite nice. And then at the end, where he has to decide, right, what am I going to do? I either send the stuff to save the planet off ahead of me, and I'll save Rocky because something's gone wrong with the stuff, so it's going to destroy Rocky's ship. Or do I just keep fucking going and fuck him off and just get back? But there's no way of getting back to Earth if he goes for Rocky, and so he fucking sends off 4 space boys to go back to the world with all the information they need, and he heads off to get Rocky. And the very end, you think he's this is a big spoiler, you think he's back on Earth. He's on the beach and he's fucking relaxing, the waves are coming, and then Rocky comes up in these special suits that they made, like prisms they wear, the way they're all wrapped around the bodies. And he's on Rocky's world, and their scientists have built him a biodome, and he's living there, and he gets asked, we've got the stuff ready now, you can go back to your Earth if you want. And he's like, I'll basically stay here a little bit longer. And because he was a teacher on Earth, he turns around and goes up to this little classroom of all these little rock creatures who are all jumping up and down, they're excited. Fucking loved it. Fucking hell, tears are welling up in my eyes when I was the sad bits where you had to be sad. It was fucking, it got me, it pulled my strings, Mr. Ross.
See, I told you it was manipulative.
No, it wasn't manipulative. It did what it did correctly. It made you fucking like both the characters, because they had to go through so much, because all of Rocky's crew was like 40 odd fellow passengers on Rocky's crew had died. And they had to get all this stuff done. They helped each other. They fucking had jokes. It was
the perfect movie for me.
It was the best film I've seen in fucking ages.
Yeah. And there was no agenda, no politics, no nothing.
Yeah, I was going to say there was nothing like that. It was just, this is the story, and this is how we're going to do it. And so it did it.
The effects are really good. I like when Rocky sent over the first container. Went too fast, and then he sends over the slower one. He goes, "Why is it going so slow?" Oh, he thinks I'm an idiot.
Yeah,
that was funny. It was really good. It reminded me of a really good 80s movie with better effects, because there was a time where 80s movies like that were written really well, but the effects couldn't match it. And then the effects start taking over everything with fucking Independence Day and Godzilla, and then that god awful Matthew Broderick Godzilla movie and Jurassic Park, and then movies start concentrating on these huge massive effects rather than the story. And it was good to see a balance there, where it was a great story, great screenplay, and great amazing visuals. Yeah, I loved every minute of it, and a little twist where he's trying to run away in the camp was really funny in the base, when they're chasing after him. Yeah, some really funny moments in it, but very heartfelt. Great movie. I mean, fantastic movie.
Yeah,
deserves all a massive blockbuster too, and it deserved every penny it made.
I'm glad it was a big hit, and I hope that Hollywood will probably learn all the wrong lessons from it. But I'm glad that it was a big success. It was. I mean, it was a heartwarmer, that's for sure. And then, but I just came back from Comic-Con. I can tell you that there are Rocky figures prototypes on display.
Excellent.
And a plushie.
A plushie. Right. Yeah. Let's get onto Amazon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else did you watch, John?
Right. So I watched that. I've been a bit busy to watch too much stuff. but I did watch the first episode of the new season of fucking Star Trek, whatever it's called.
Enterprise?
No,
Brave New World.
That's it. And I was absolutely exhausted because I watched this after I'd been at the festival, and I fucking just kept falling asleep. And I had to rewind it, but then I suddenly had this sudden surge of energy, and so I made sure I didn't fall asleep. And I watched it. It was interesting. I'll give you that. It was they were this ship appeared. I won't go into the whole story, but the ship appeared, basically took the fucking Enterprise hostage. They could just phase through walls, so they just suddenly just walked onto the ship, a female and two of their security, and basically said, "This is ours now. We've decided this is our ship. This is junk for us because we're going to take everything and do what we like." And they had to sort of like try and stop them. And at the same time, the three of the crew were on an away mission on this planet. And then you find out, I'm not going to say exactly what it is because it'll ruin the whole fucking surprise. And then you find out where they are and what they're doing, and it was one of those episodes where you think, they've got people who actually fucking thought about something like the old days.
It's like the Borg before the Borg.
Well, yeah, it's like when the
where they
original
assimilate
Star Trek,
all the craft and all the technology and everything.
Well, it's different to that because it's. Actually, I don't want to go into.
Yeah, so you don't want to spoil it. But I think they had a similar storyline or episode in the very beginning of that series.
But I can't even say specific words because then it just ruins the story.
Yeah,
but it honestly, it's like one of those things from the original stuff where they've actually done a good written story where they've got to think about stuff, and I can't say anything because it will ruin it. Honestly,
all right,
it was that clever.
I'll probably end up watching it. I have to catch up on that, anyways.
Yeah, but I watched that, and I've not really watched anything else. I've been waiting for other things to drop. The Stewart Saves the Universe thing that's dropped, so me and Carol are going to watch that because that looks absolutely bonkers. That's weirdly.
Yeah, they do some time traveling stuff in that.
It's a multiverse type stuff as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Rebellion would take the piss out of the American comics for doing all these multiverse things. Yeah, I remember that.
And then they did their own.
But yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that, and probably do a lot of catching up on stuff in a fortnight when I'm off for ages, Mr. Ross.
Yeah. I don't think you've really had time to watch much of anything, Mr. Ross, have you?
Oh, well, I came back early, so I got to watch like 3 things. So, because after the trip home, I was like, okay, it's movie time. That's it.
So what you watch?
I'll just make it fast because nobody cares. I saw an Indian movie called Blast about a family. The father is a martial arts master who taught his daughter, and his wife taught him, and they get involved in this crime thing. So it's this 50-year-old dude, his sexy wife, and his attractive daughter beating the shit out of thugs for over 2 hours, and no musical numbers, but the soundtrack was full of bangers.
If they're Indian, wouldn't they be thuggies?
Yes, nice. I saw what you did there. So it was really good, and the plot, the way they kept building the mystery of the plot, like who's figuring out like who did what, and the way the gangsters eventually figure out like, wait a minute, it's this family, and it's done it's a farce, but so it's one of those things where like the idea of 2 women beating up like 6 burly guys, that's like, well, sure, it's a comedy, it's not to be taken seriously.
I can see John turning that movie off right away.
But the stunts, the women did a great job. I mean, the daughter is like, I don't know how much she trained or if she trained and it was just like camera tomfoolery, but it looked like Rothrock level fighting from the 2 women, and the guy was good too. So enjoyed the hell out of that. But again,
did you watch another Swords and Sandals movie?
Yes, I saw Hercules.
Your second movie.
I saw Hercules in the underworld, and it was Mario Bava with Christopher Lee. If you get the Kino Lorber Blu-ray, you get two choices. You get the American cut and the Italian cut, and I went for the Italian
cut. Yeah.
Yes, because it's longer and truer to what.
That's what she said.
But what a beautiful looking movie. You could, again, like all these other ones, you could tell it was not made on a Hollywood budget and not made with Hollywood sophistication, but the lighting and the sets, and there were they had these flying ghosts. You could actually see the wires, but the way it was shot was really effective. There was a bit where the sky, the clouds the clouds move in to block the sun, and I listened to the commentary beforehand while I was doing something else, so
it's Hercules in the Haunted World, right?
Yes, it's called Hercules in the Haunted World, and also Hercules. It has several titles, but Hercules in the Haunted World is probably the best way to look it up. This one, Christopher Lee was dubbed in Italian, but it sounded enough like him, and the presence was there, and just the guy who plays Hercules looks like he's having a great time. There were some legitimately, so most of the in-camera analog special effects were pretty good, especially if you approach it from like pop art. The scene I was describing where the clouds move in to block out the sun, they used the Flash Gordon technique. It was like a tank of water, and then they dropped ink in, and they made that the clouds moving towards the sun to cause the eclipse. And then there were some legitimately good acrobatics too. You could tell that these guys were doing flips and some trampoline stunts during the fights, and just a rollicking, and the girls were beautiful, and it was just a rollicking good time. Loved it. And then the third one was called Star Pilot, which is also an Italian movie. It gets bundled up in the same basket as some of these public domain ones like Star Odyssey, and
I think you talked about Star Pilot last time.
Yeah, I was listening to the whatchamacallit, the commentary. So the short version is I finally watched the whole thing. It's not for everybody. If you go into it knowing that it's supposed to be a comedy, it makes it a lot better, because I could see where, especially if you watched the American version with the beginning, the whole thing that kind of explains the whole thing cut off, and then the dubbing makes it difficult to tell whether it's just bad dubbing or if it's supposed to be a comedy. The Italian actors, it's supposed to be a comedy. The main girl is gorgeous. The girl who plays the alien is attractive.
I tell you what, that the girl that plays the alien or whatever, or one of them, is actually in that Hercules movie you watched as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Leonardo Ruffo. She's in Star Pilot, and she's also in that Hercules movie.
She might have been the masked Oracle character too. I don't recognize the face.
I'll tell you who she was. She was Princess Diane Niera.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, in Hercules in the Haunted World, she played that role. And in the Star Pilot, she played, let's see, I get back up, Kaina.
Yeah, she's the captain of the alien ship.
There you go. See?
Her costumes were great too. Both all the costumes, all the alien costumes were great. And then like one of the guys who had played Hercules in one of the other movies played one of her henchmen. And it was nuts. And it had like, apparently they were saying in the commentary that they had these like hairy apes that were like reminiscent of 2001: A Space Odyssey, but this movie came out in Italy before 2001. And then there was like an ending that was like Planet of the Apes, and it also came out before Planet of the Apes. So it was kind of like, what's up with this movie? But it's a very Italian movie. Just kind of like sit back and let the scenes unfold. The sexy girl has several costume changes, and then finally when the alien commander goes like, give her one of my uniforms, it's like basically this space bikini with sort of a sheer mesh around the waist and legs, and so it's like, sure, you walk around the spaceship commanding people with that, of course you do, but it was a hell of a lot of fun as well. But also, just because of the structure of the movie and some of the things, if I had discovered this movie and this version of the movie that's like all restored and the print is beautiful and it sounds great and it's as good as it's ever going to look or sound, if I had seen this around the time I was obsessing over the Rocky Horror Picture Show, it would be a close second, because it's kind of almost in some ways the same thing, except it doesn't have the perverts and it doesn't have the cool Richard O'Brien songs. But it's almost as if Richard O'Brien might have seen this movie and added some of it to his stuff. So just great. But unless you can watch the Kino Lorber version, or unless
you can watch it on Tubi.
If you can see it on Tubi and it's like a 4K version or it's the Italian version, go for it. If it's one of the public domain versions that have been bopping around forever on those 10 movies for $10, don't bother. You'll hate it.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what it is. If it is, yeah, it's not a good high def image at all.
Yeah, don't bother then.
Yeah. All right. Well, I saw 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
I saw Masters of the Universe.
Mm-hmm.
It was a lot of fun, really good, but I can see why it flopped.
I started to watch it and then fell asleep, but not because I didn't enjoy it. It was because I was tired. But
yeah,
go ahead.
I did find some stuff. Some of it was really funny.
Mm-hmm.
It reminded me a lot of Flash Gordon. It even had a Queen song in it, "Princess of the Universe," when he come walking out. And
Mm-hmm.
Brian May had had a huge hand in the soundtrack of it, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So I had that Queen connection. Some of the jokes rattled that kids wouldn't get would go over kids' heads, but they enjoy it anyways. Like when he starts naming all the men. Oh, you're Ram Man. I said, who the fuck is it? Like, I'm Ram Man. Who's Ram Man? Because he makes up names for the characters when he's a kid.
Right.
And of course, you come to Fisto. You know, why you call me Fisto? Because you fist everybody. Something like that was a good joke.
Mm-hmm.
There is at the beginning he recounts a story. It's him, Prince Adam, telling the story of how he came to Earth. And I'm like, okay, so he got separated from the sword. And he got flung into a lake when he's a little kid. So who raised him? Right. So there's kind of like and then there's a bit where the guy says, where he's looking for the sword, and the guy says, "Oh, I found your sword, but it'll cost you $300." Okay, so he goes to meet him at a comic book store, and that sequence is pretty funny, because he keeps on asking everybody, "Hey, are you the guy with the sword? You know, with my sword, blah blah blah." But the guy that makes contact with him says, "Oh yeah, I seen your sword." He didn't even ask for his $300.
I know.
So there's little things like that in there that I'm like, huh? And then so he steals the sword, and then the cops come and arrest him. And as they're getting on the freeway, there you see people panic and running past, and like there's a disaster going on somewhere, and you find out that it's Beast Man. He's come for the sword, right? And so the whole freeway is completely empty. That would never happen, and there's no cops. That would never happen. So there's things like that you're like, yeah, well, you got to overlook it. It's Masters of the Universe based on a cartoon. Cartoon was pretty silly. So Skeletor was great. I thought Jared Leto did a fantastic job, and he even does the meme where he calls He-Man a boob. So there's stuff like that in there that's fantastic. It reminded me so much of Flash Gordon. Even the end of it, when Skeletor's defeated, Eva Lynn comes back at the end credit scene and takes his skull, a bit like Max von Sydow raising his finger with the ring kind of thing. So you know he's going to come back into it. The 2 added end scenes were really good. He had Orko in it, which I was surprised to see. I wasn't expecting to see him in it.
That's the little flying wizard thing in it.
Yeah, and he had the morality of today's morality. The moral of the story is Which is what they did in He-Man all the time. At the end of He-Man, He-Man would say, hey, the moral of the story, Orko would say it, or He-Man would say it. So that was perfect. And then he had another extra scene of She-Ra. You see her from the back, and the Queen says, you think she'll return home? And then it cuts to a scene of her on a planet. And you see her from the back with the sword and everything else, and she slightly turns her head. So it didn't do well at the box office, but I heard that they're going to do a sequel to it anyways, because I think the streaming services now and how they do movies now has completely changed. Like in the early days, they wouldn't count when they release a movie. This is way before streaming. This was back in the 80s or 90s. When they release a movie, if it didn't do well domestically, it never got a sequel. And no matter how well it did international, there's some rare examples. For example, Highlander. Highlander did really well in Europe, so they decided to make a sequel. But they never used to count the worldwide receipts as well as the domestic receipts together. They never used to count the box office together. They always used to go by the US box office, and that was it.
Yeah.
That changed with the Marvel movies. Because
Right.
Marvel and Disney would count the worldwide sales. So that completely changed. And I think it's changed again with streaming. Because even though the movie was a flop, it did really well on streaming. So that would justify them doing another one. So I think the whole scene for making movies and everything else is going to completely change over the next year or 2 years. Especially because I don't think many people are going to the movie theaters anymore.
No,
I really don't.
I can't be bothered. So I'll go see that Indian movie, The Ramayan, but yeah, no.
Yeah, and here's a fun fact about Master of the Universe. It was fun. It was a fun movie. I thought it was a bit too long because I found myself going, "Come on, wrap it up." And when you find yourself doing that, you're like, that's not good.
Well, you also weren't raised on it either, so because
it doesn't matter. I'm very familiar with it. And I love Filmation stuff. Here's a fun fact that Orko, his original name was Gorpo in the cartoon, but they had to change it to Orko because a lot of times Filmation would flip the cells. If they had a scene of He-Man talking, they would say, "Hey, reuse the same shot of say He-Man talking, but flip it." So he's talking from instead of left to right, he's talking from right to left. And for Gorpo, that didn't work because the G would be reversed. So that's why they changed his name to Orko, so they could switch it without knowing. So there's a fun fact. The second movie I saw was, I recommend Master of the Universe. It's good fun. Bit too long, but good fun. And the costumes and the characters. I mean, they made it as close as possible. If you like any kind of franchise, and you see the movie makers making it as close as possible to what you love, you're going to love that movie. That movie's going to be a massive cult movie. I mean, if they made a Dredd movie where they kept the costume exactly like the way it is in the comic book, you would love that as a fan.
Sure.
Like, it's like what Steve Green and the guys did with Greg Staples as Dredd in Judgmenty. I mean, that uniform looked fantastic. So I think if you're a He-Man fan, I mean, this is the perfect movie for you. And they kept everything exactly the way it is. They even had the laughter where they're all laughing at a stupid joke. They all put their heads back laughing like they do in the animation. So they did a perfect job on that movie. Absolutely perfect. The second movie I saw was
also
Mark.
You neglected to mention that Dolph has a cameo in it too.
Yeah, but it's kind of stupid. I mean, you could take it. Yeah, it was kind of. They could have cut that completely out, and it wouldn't have made any difference. It was just, I mean, it was instantly forgettable. That's why I didn't remember it. There was no need for it. You could have had him as an extra walking in the background, like they used to do with Bruce Campbell and stuff. What's his name? Raimi used to do with Bruce Campbell. You stick him in all his movies like Hitchcock. The second movie was Mortal Kombat 2 with Carl Urban, and that was a lot of fun, but it was really stupid.
Yes.
Some of the action stuff was good as well, but you can tell that he had stunt doubles.
Oh,
It
of
was
course.
it was nearly as bad as when they did in Star Trek, where there's um there's an episode of Star Trek where they're all in the room, and you have this
Hmm.
old guy, and he's being possessed by this creature, and then they find out that he's actually like the Jack the Ripper type creature thing, right? And so
Hmm.
Kirk goes to fight him, and they switch out the actor for a stuntman, and the stuntman looks completely different than the actor, right? So it's like they used to make fun of it in again Police Squad, where he's chasing after a woman on a motorbike, and then because they have to use a stunt person, they use a black guy with a beard with a wig on. That's supposed to be the woman kind of thing as a joke. And some of the Mortal Kombat stuff like that with Carl Urban was exactly like that. It was so obvious it was a stunt double. I thought the story was kind of a bit of a mess because you had two heroes and two hero arcs instead of concentrating on the one hero. Kung Lao, whatever, the hero in the first original best Mortal Kombat movie. He's not the chosen one in this. He's not the hero. The hero is Katana, and the hero is Luke Cage. So they split up the two, which is kind of weird. So it's a bit of a mess that way. And the big bad guy Shao Kahn. I mean, when at the beginning of the movie you see Katana, and she's like 5 years old or 6 years old, and then it cuts to the present, and Shao Kahn is still like, it's like he's never aged. So it has some silly stuff in it that I'm like, what, huh? But it had some really nice gory deaths, which was good. The whole Scorpion thing too with Sub-Zero, where they go into hell. It's just, it's a bit. They'll have to wide open for the sequel because they're going to go find the souls of the fallen heroes or whatever. But it's just a bit of a mess for me. Have you seen it, Rossi?
I haven't, obviously.
Rossi's gone.
He's probably gone to see the workers.
Right. So it was a bit of a mess. Some nice stuff in it overall. It did really well at the box office. Did well enough that they're thinking of doing the sequel to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, the original, it's a follow up to the 2022 movie, Mortal Kombat movie, which I thought was garbage. But this one's way better. Some of the fights in it are way better than that, and some of the deaths are just really gory, like you expect in a Mortal Kombat movie. But yeah, it was okay. It was okay. But I'd recommend both of them though. If you just want something to shut your brain off and just have a laugh, yeah, I'd recommend both. Because Johnny Cage's character, Carl Urban, plays a washed-up actor in it, like a has-been, and which is pretty much his career now because he's not an A-lister. He's a B-lister.
Mm-hmm.
So
Getting back for Judge
he's
Dredd.
back. Yeah, make a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you see it, Rossi?
Yeah, it was okay. I had to step out because the the floor guy called me.
Well, it did have a throwback to the original Mortal Kombat movie with the music in it.
I way preferred the very first Mortal Kombat movie. This
From
one
the
was
96, from 96.
Yeah,
me too.
It was much more fun. It was okay.
It needed Goro.
Yeah, it needed a lot of other things too. It just I didn't care about what they were fighting over, and it's
the threat. It didn't seem that the threat was there.
No, and then the washed up actor thing. It's kind of like, okay, it's we're doing Galaxy Quest and Mortal Kombat. And
that's exactly what I thought about when I saw Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, so it was okay, but because that half those actors, it's not actually them doing the big moves and all. It's okay. The camera stuff and the editing was pretty good, but it wasn't like that.
It does stuff that I absolutely hate, and he did this in The Boys. We'll get to The Boys in a minute, but where the hero is nearly defeated, so they do a flashback. Oh, never give up, and never this kind of like this image going on. And then she gets a second wind. It's like, quit it with that fucking bullshit. Just stop.
Yeah,
kind of they did it twice with The Boys in the season finale, and I'm like, where Butcher's like, he's looking at Huey and he's seeing his brother, and I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake! And then and then they did it elsewhere at the beginning of the season finale. That season finale of The Boys is one of the worst endings I've ever seen. You're
Jeez.
telling me that they were able to infiltrate the White House without a fucking army being there to stop them? There's
Mhm.
no fucking way. It's just so bad. Although it did have one of my favorite episodes, the last season, where the one where he went into the fort, the abandoned fort, and they were all turning on each other, trying to kill each other.
Oh yeah.
That,
Apart from Frenchie, he was okay, wasn't he?
yeah, that was pretty funny. That was good. And there was another bit. It was kind of predictable. The end of The Boys was predictable. You knew that that what's his name, the Aquaman guy. You knew he was going to end up in the water getting killed. That was like telegraphed a mile away. And the whole I'll suck your cock part with Homelander, I feel that they stole that. They stole that from the Mandy movie with Nicolas Cage. Have you seen that movie?
Mm.
Have you seen that movie?
Me? No.
Yeah, that's what happens at the end when he comes across the bad guy
Ah.
and he's about to kill him, and the guy goes, "Oh, suck your cock." It's the same thing. So
Mhm.
I think they stole it. I did enjoy when Soldier Boy met up with the cast of Supernatural, the rest of the Supernatural cast. That was how he got out of that was really funny. That was one of the funniest moments where he kept on putting his friends in front of him. So
Mhm.
when what's his name? He was the speedster guy. When
Yeah.
he was running really fast to get Soldier Boy would put one of his friends out in front of him, and so he'd run through the
Yeah.
guy and just explode.
Yeah, that
That
was one
was
of my favourite things because I watched that quite a few times on YouTube because it just makes me laugh so much.
that was so funny that he was killing inadvertently killing all his friends by
It's
running through
and
them.
when it was Seth Rogen was ripped in half and he was he was looking up going, is it bad or something like that? I
Yeah,
pissed myself then.
yeah. I'm glad it was Seth Rogen too. I'm sure a lot of people cheered when they saw his death on screen. But yeah, so that was they were the two highlights of the last season. But the last season was a mess, absolute mess. And I'm fucking pissed off they killed the dog.
Well,
Terror. At least he
good.
went peacefully.
Yeah,
Oh,
I fucking hated the end.
you're a dog lover. You love your doggy.
Yeah, but I absolutely hated the whole of nearly all of season 5. I did laugh at the vice president, the one with the face in the back of her head.
oh
That when she
yeah.
says, "I'm not stepping down," and then it cuts to the news article, news story. The president has been impeached and is stepping down. So that was pretty funny. But I mean, they left it wide open for a follow up because Soldier Boy's still alive. He's in suspended animation.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, yeah, it's just the ending was just god awful. Anyway, yeah, so that's it. That's all I've seen.
We did the movies, we did TV.
Yeah. Do you guys want to do the prog?
Let's drug.
Pew, pew, Barney McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, Grub.
Okay, we have Prog 2492. And just have it up on screen here. And we have a cover by Clint Langley, and it's not the best. I love Clint Langley's artwork, but this is just a terrible pose. I wonder if he was stuck for time or he did it real quick just to get it out, like Thor needed a cover.
He was young and needed the money.
Yeah.
Or old and needed the money.
Yeah. What do you think?
It's got 7 links, so it goes well there. The 6th one near the badge, you can just make it out because it has to be the angles. I would have liked a different coloured background in the sky.
There's 6 links on there, John.
No, there's a 7th because you can't quite see it, right? You see where the 2 are like the SS sign? There's 1 joins them. You just see the left of it.
No,
You see it?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No. So you're next to the side badge, right?
Right.
There's 2 links. They have to be joined, and you can see the joint one. It's very faint. because you can't
Yeah,
have
that's
links like that. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
all right. I'm gonna take a picture and mark it up because I don't
Yeah.
see it. I don't see it at all.
Yes. Well, you've got your big screen. You just expand it. You'll be able to
I
see
know
it.
that's what I've done, and it's not there.
It is. And like I say, I just wish the background was a bit different so it pops a bit more, because that 2000 AD it's weird because it makes it look as though it's slightly at an angle with the way I'm holding the prog in my hand. It makes so it isn't, but it makes so it looks like the cover's being cut slightly wonky because of the I presume the circular side blasts.
Hmm. What do you think, Rossi?
Does it sell the Prog? Kinda. It looks like one of those like Warhammer covers or White Dwarf cover or something
Her
like that.
pose is just so strange.
She looks nothing like the Anderson in the fucking prog, I'll tell you that.
Well,
Which is probably a good thing.
You want to talk about false advertising, but
But you don't want to put that her left foot where it's standing like that. You don't want to put it straight on like that. You want it at an angle.
yeah,
It's just weird.
It looks awkward, but it's like, oh, Anderson's in the Prog, it looks okay. It's got kind of fat legs and gigantic feet, but stylized.
Mm.
So
Did you read?
I would
Go
give
ahead.
it a pass on the. I would give it a pass. Like it kind of reminds me more of a heavy metal type cover, so
Right.
it's fine.
Did you read Droid Life?
Yes, it builds up to one big pun, which is actually kind of clever. I didn't see it coming, and then there was
Home is where you hang your hat.
yeah, the hat's cheating at cards, and so they're gonna string it up. And she says, "Home is where you hang your hat." So there you go.
Terrible.
It's
All right.
pretty good.
Judge Dredd, The Omelette, Part 10, Ken Neiman, Tom Tully, Gordon Rennie, Dan Cornwell, Chris Bly, and Ernie Parkhausen.
Dredd decides that they'll take down some Southers to gain favour with the Norts. So they do just that. Piece of piss. Joe tells their boss that he can help them gain control in return for some of their weapons. First, though, someone must defeat Gregare, and then the boss will consider their offer. Up steps the lass, obviously, and she does one swift yawn move, and she kills Gregare. Now that it's over, they're given weapons and move out with a few red-shirted Norts in tow. Fucking hell. Do you know what I'm happy about? I'm reading other people's comments online, and a lot of people are saying the exact same stuff as we are. So I'm happy.
For a story that actually has a lot of killing and some fighting in it, it feels so padded out. And I appreciate that they're trying to give Dan Cornwell, give his artwork room to breathe, because this is like career best stuff. He's really knocking it out of the park. Who's the guy who, if I compared him to Don Lawrence, would you say that's a fair comparison?
No.
Don Lawrence is better?
Of course. Don
Okay.
Lawrence does completely painted artwork.
Right. But if he did line drawing,
No, Don Lawrence is way better.
Okay, all right.
He's not even close.
Then I retract my comment on that one. But but you're going along here, and it's like regular comic, and then honestly, you don't need a full page to show them breaking the necks of the guards or killing off the Southers so they could get the dog tags. You don't need 2/3 of the page to.
Well, you have to show some action.
Yeah, but you don't need to show 2/3 of the page to show like the entrance to the compound or camp or whatever this is. And then, the fight breaks out, and it's like 3 panels of, the girl kills the guy, and then the girl has killed the guy, and then they're going to go marching off into battle. I know I shouldn't be dictating, how this thing gets broken down in pace, but it feels like, again, they wanted to make this long story and don't really have much to tell, and it's just going on, and it's going on in 3-4 different strips now. So, and it feels like somebody said, hey, the kids like Dungeons and Dragons these days. Why didn't you make this play like one of those games that the kids like? And, you know, there's a lot of leveling up and gaining weapons. And it's like he read Dungeon Crawler Carl and said, oh, I'll do that for Judge Dredd. And that's what this is.
You know all the parts that he's doing? This is like part 15 or 16.
Well, this is in the Prog from Judge Dredd is part 10, but that doesn't. I don't know if that counts the Judge.
No,
Rico.
if you count all the Judge Rico stuff and the Fargo and Bane. I mean, Rennie's really milking it.
So, but again, it feels like a very long Dungeons and Dragons campaign at this point.
It's not really that good either because she takes care of that guy in one go.
Right.
So
yeah, I mean the action stuff isn't generally that exciting. So it's, even though there's a fair amount of it. I mean, to their credit, it isn't just people standing around talking, but there's also it's not very exciting action broken up with people standing around talking.
What do you think, John?
It bores me. I mean, we're getting the army every week. There's some sort of one little fight thing, and exactly what you said. Hair doing that maneuver around him. It's just like, Jesus Christ, this is the crap we see in crap films. Yeah, it's just like. And what does he say? He says like, "I'll give you like 10 seconds." I can't remember what he says now. When they turn up, I'll give you a few seconds.
Before we kill you.
About 10 seconds on the time before we kill you, and you think, oh yeah, here we go. But it's just like everyone is saying. It's the horrendous fan wankery and this and apparently somebody's posted stuff up saying like, look, there's more multiverse to come up, and yet this is the people who say all that multiverse stuff in American comics is shit. You know what I mean? Even the fucking Shill goes on about that sort of stuff, but yet no, it's brilliant when it's done in here. No, this is fucking worse. Yeah, I just. The art is brilliant. He's putting loads and loads of imagery on each panel. Fantastic. But when you have to follow the instructions of the writer that fame forgot, then it's not good, is it?
No. All right, Rossi, did you pick up the sci-fi special?
No.
Didn't have that at Rebellion? What did you think, John?
I hadn't read any of it yet. I flicked through the pictures.
Right.
But it looks very nice inside. I'm looking forward to when I eventually get to read it. The where's it gone? There it is. The Stickleback. I'm looking forward to that. I just haven't got fucking time, you know what I mean? But I've got the action one from whenever it was, and that's still down the cellar. Never read it. The problem is when I opened that, I'm like, oh god, that looks boring. So I just put it down, and then it'll just eventually go into the pile where the other actions are. But this, I like the art on the Dread because I like Boo Cook's art. I always like the lads Disraeli and Ian Edgerton. I'm just going to flick through the things now. You've got a couple of adverts in for your subscription, and then the advert for the Judgment on Gotham. Then you've got the Young Death, which is the KW Anthony Williams. Decent art on that. I'm just sort of going through. Future Shock, Andy Ewington and Gary Welsh.
Do you know I was shocked at when I heard about it?
Go on.
That they don't include the specials as part of your 2000AD subscription.
Oh yeah, and they're all going mental about the subscription now, aren't they? Because they're paying for it apparently. They're paying for the delivery or something. I can't remember exactly. In fact, let me go on their page and see what it says.
It's extra money you pay if you're in Europe. They cancelled Europe, I think.
Yes, it's hilarious, isn't it?
Brexit.
Yeah, no. You see, what makes me laugh is Europe have done this.
It's the European Union that did it.
Yeah, the EU have done it because they need the money because they're fucking shite. But yet they all screamed when Trump put tariffs on. This is no difference to a tariff. You know what I mean? It's exactly the same thing. But I just think, well, this is the way it's going to be. I don't care because I don't intend to visit anywhere in fucking Frogland and Germany and what, unless something really important. I just want to go to a place that will actually welcome you and don't want to fleece you.
Well, that's
So,
why I was surprised that they didn't include the specials as part of your subscription.
yeah. Let's have a look. There's the shop. Let's have a look at the I'm getting a threat coming up when I go into the 2000AD shop. Subscription, there it is. Come on. It's taking a while to open up. There we go. Print. Oh, it still says free UK delivery for print. Let's see what it says here. Let's go out of United Kingdom then. Oh, I don't think it's going to open up. So you're going to get everything. The combi print only. Get 2000 delivered every week and the Judge Dredd magazine delivered every month. That's £15.83, which isn't bad, but I prefer to go down the shop and buy mine for more because I pick up a decent copy and it's not wrecked by the postman. Because all I see as well is people going, "Oh, fucking postman's fold it in half,
I gotta go.
dickhead."
I'm not gonna go, but I gotta go greet the guy. I'll be right back.
Well, you hurry up. Tell me to hurry up. You're doing something more important than that.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
So the cost of the Prog is
The current Prog is just under £4, I think. That's about £3.99. So let's go for a 16. I think the meg's about 7, is it? 16, 7. So let's say 23. So you're saving about fucking £8, £7, getting them like that, and you get them early. But I don't care about getting them early since I don't read half the stuff. And like I say, the amount of people who are saying it's wrecked, it's wet, it's this, it's that. The packaging's worse than it used to be. The cheaper packaging and all this.
yeah.
So the only time I actually get one on like that is when I'm away for a couple of weeks, like when I'm in America. So I'll have to get one sent to the house while we're away, and that's the only time. If there was a comic shop near me, I'd pop in the comic shop and just say, keep these. But there isn't now. I'm not going to go all the way over to Rochester for this dire thing. But I would prefer it. I wouldn't mind paying a £5 if every prog was the size of the sci-fi special and had the cover quality of the sci-fi special. Do that. Do a prog like that every week.
Is the paper, is the cover for the sci-fi special that thicker paper?
Yeah, it is.
All right.
And I think every story is at least, let's see, Dreads 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for Dreads. Stickleback is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 for Stickleback. Let's have a look. Here we go. Death, the Young Death. That is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 10. Oh, then you get a poster art by Joe Curry. The Future Shock, I think that's just 5 pages. Yeah, 5. And the Stronting Dog at the back is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Yeah, so I will quite happily have that every week, pay the £5 for it. Just round the fucking thing up. Don't do these fucking 99s. Who gives a shit? It doesn't trick anybody, you know what I mean? Oh, it's not a £5.
Oh, you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised.
Yeah, I know people fucking get upset, don't they?
I mean, you have people complaining about, talking about how Marvel DC do the multiverse and how it's all shite and all that, and yet they're embracing this.
Yeah, I know, and this is terrible.
Ashley.
Yeah,
So.
the shill. The ultimate shill. You could fucking... The Thar could just have a shit in his mouth and he'd say, I'd have some more, please.
Ashel beaching.
Yeah, Ashley.
Oh, we have to have him on we have to have him on the show sometime, Ashley.
Yeah, and get him to say...
It'd be funny to have him on.
Yeah. You don't really buy all these things, do you, Ashley? Yes, I do. No, let's tell the truth. You don't, do you?
Poor Ashley.
Let's tell the truth. Like I say, I've said it many times, give me a fucking massive dandy, the whole dandy. I'll pay fucking good money for that in one big volume. You know what I mean? Give me something like that. Even if you got to split it like they did the Dan Dares into 2 volumes, I'm happy to pay the money because that was an awesome story. I don't want to be
Except
paying.
the ending. The ending was shit.
But I don't want to be paying money for something with 64 pages in with the hardbacks or 100 pages, which is, and they call it an omnibus. No, it isn't. If the story's gonna, if you know the story's going to be complete and it's like 5 books, then I'll quite happily wait for the 5 books to be all in one book, and then I'll buy it then. Just, you know.
Well, we said it before that, I think that the weekly format of the Prog is very old school. It doesn't really shift with modern times. So if you made the Prog, I'm saying if you made it a monthly, and or you took even the magazine, and instead of all this crap you have in the magazine, make it like one complete Dread story that's 18 to 21 pages.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do like when Matt Smith, when he includes a double episode of something in the Prog. Like he's done that a lot lately, where he's had like where Brink would be 10 pages instead of 5, or Dread will be 10 pages instead of 5, or any of the stories that need catching up with, like Helium would be 10 pages instead of 5. I like that they do that now and again because it moves things a lot quicker. So, and it also feels that you're not just getting a short little, because the way we read comics and the way comics are now is a little bit different than we used to, right? For example, back in the 80s when we read Dread or Rogue Trooper and anything like that, they're really compact, like cliffhangers, like real. A lot of stuff happened in those 5 or 6 pages. You don't really have that today because the way the storytelling has changed and the readership has changed. So everything is like what Rossi said is padding or it's drawn out a little bit more. But it would help, I think, if down again, Matt Smith kept that going where he'd put 10 pages for one story instead of just the 5 as usual.
Yeah.
I think that would help a lot. So who knows? What story did you take?
I did the back one.
Anderson?
That's the one.
All right, why don't you do Anderson while Rossi's on his knees?
Okay. Here we go. I'll wait for your bits. I'll wait for your names.
Oh, of course, yeah. Liam Johnson script, Rob Richardson art, and Rob Steen letters.
Cassandra is inside Lucas's mind, and it's like a dementia patient, or the victim of a severe head injury, or someone who has been deeply traumatized as there's a black void which is growing. She reckons that whatever happened to the kid, she must have been there as he feels safe around her. She senses something else inside his mind, something which is taking advantage of all what is happening. Just then, the large dog beast returns with 2 friends, and Nash doesn't shoot them straight away. Oh, no. At the same time, Kravoom tells Anderson that it knows all about her, and it's also in her mind. In fact, it's fucking well everywhere. To which Kaz tells it to leave the child's mind, but it says not until it's had its fill.
I don't think this could be a story that doesn't have to tie in with the omelette at all.
No.
I wonder if Gordon Rennie's pissed off that Tharg allowed Liam Johnson to do this as a side to the omelette, because the creature at the end looks nothing like anything that's going on in Nick's work, or even Dan Cornwell's, what's going on with Dan Cornwell as well. I mean, looks nothing. It looks out of place.
Yep.
And the whole thing, the road sign that says Memory Lane, I mean, I'm just groaned.
Well,
yeah, it just doesn't have to tie into that at all. I wonder if like even the name, I am Kravoom or whatever. I know all about you, Cassandra. I'm like, we've never had anything like that kind of direct in the omelette. I mean, so it's just, I wonder if Rennie's pissed off that they did this.
That'd be good, wouldn't it, if he was? But it has my favourite image from the Prog is the big picture on the third page, where the creature is a different style of art in front of their sort of more cartoony art. I like that
huge
image.
Fat ass.
A big fat ass who doesn't want a big fat ass on the main.
Girls, they make the rocking world go round.
That's it. And then obviously we got the dog things come back, and I'm just like, oh God, look, she didn't shoot them with the 3 shots last time, and she's not shooting them now. She could just use a heat seeker and just go, that's them 3 dead. But no, we've got to have them hanging around. Oh dear. Yeah. But
Yeah.
I do like the other artwork of the creature. I think that's quite nicely done.
Well,
Was that
Rossi's
Rossi
back.
back then? Was it? Yeah, he's
Yeah.
back from helping his workmen. Where are they from, Mr. Rossi, your workmen?
Here. But
Did you wipe your mouth before you came back on, Rossi?
Yes, I did.
Excellent.
We
Were
just
they
done
muscly?
Anderson.
Were they wearing wife beater shirts?
No.
Did
They
they look
look like-
professional?
Yeah, very.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is your dad going to send the bill to your neighbor?
It seems like the insurance is going to cover a lot of it.
Hang on, whose
Oh.
insurance?
Uh-huh.
Whose insurance?
Maybe ours, and then
Why? Your insurance will go up. The fuck
Yeah,
is their
probably.
insurance?
It was your neighbor that caused the
Oh.
trouble.
Yeah, I know. So
Anyway, what do you think of
Anyway.
Anderson, Rossi?
what?
What did you think of Anderson?
Oh, are you
Anderson.
already on Anderson?
Well,
Yeah.
we have to skip all the ones you did because you weren't here.
Oh, Anderson was same thing. Wrong artist for the strip, but boring. Only a couple of things happen, and they're not. It's just like, remember those Anderson stories that Alan Grant did with Boo Cook towards the end of when he was doing Anderson? It was just
Yeah.
kind of like psychic voyages, and it was like, oh yeah.
Well, the
great.
psychic voyages came within the middle of the Anderson run.
Yeah, well,
Actually, at the beginning and after the postcards from the Edge, I think it was called.
right, but I mean, like at the near the very end of when Alan Grant was doing it, when Boo Cook was mostly
Right.
the artist. It kind of reminded me of that kind of story, but without the spectacular Boo Cook artwork. So that not a lot.
Or the good writing.
Right. And then and then there's this thing with the dog, and
And I was saying to John,
Side.
this is supposed to tie into the omelet, but it's like it looks like if I was Gordon Rennie and I saw this, I'd be like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Oh no, if I was Gordon Rennie, I'd be like, oh yes, he filled 5 pages.
Yeah.
That's that. I mean, if there was ever anything that was just pure filler, that's what this is.
Yeah.
And we both like the artist. It's kind of like, really, you couldn't find something like a Future Shock or something better for him, because
Right.
really, this is just filler so you could say that the omelet's like going to be a 300-page spectacular and sell the trade. Sell a multi-100-page trade. But most of it's not going to be like, you could not read most of it and it'd be fine.
Okay, Brink, Call of the Void, Part 21. Part 21. Dan Abnett, INJ Cobart, Simon Boland.
Yeah. So they finally have a face that they're looking for, this lead-in character who was talking to Nolan Maslow. And they asked the brainy guy, Lars Lind, if they can get a trace on him. It's going to take a couple of hours. So in that couple of hours, Bridget Curtis goes to talk to Holly and asks her to trust her, and really grills the shit out of her, shows the evidence, shows all the things she knows, shows that suspects that Holly's hiding something. Holly holds back, and it's pretty tense. And then at the end, Holly realizes that she's part of that IIA outfit that they suspect is sabotaging the shuttles and causing all the havoc.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, it was good. Good
Cliffhanger,
21.
that one.
Yeah, good part 21 on that one.
Yeah, that's good. Same old, same old. Kind of
Looks
I
like-
haven't got anything else to say about it.
Looks like it's wrapping up.
Could be.
Probably wrap up and then like leave gigantic threads that are, you could, make a fight up on.
What do you think, John?
It's always the same. It's very slow moving. As we were told when Rossi wasn't here, we need to have this a longer sort of strip each week so you can get a bit more in. I did like the way she's questioning the other lass, and it's getting a bit like she's got her arms defensive crossed. You know what I mean? So it's getting a bit like annoyed with it. And as I turn the page over, she's getting quite annoyed. Lots of redacting on the swearing. But yeah, it's interesting to see where it's going now because they're saying there could be anyone could be like what was the term they used? So not inside men, but there's bad eggs through the group somewhere. So and it makes you wonder now if she is a bad egg or she's just I don't know protecting somebody because she thinks that's a decent person who's on the wrong track or something. I don't know, but it's again it just takes so long, and then you get like one big spiel of it over 5 pages, which is all basically what's happened this episode. It's all against her, but I like it, but it's the wrong place for this sort of story.
The Fall of Dead World, Justice Part 6. Keck W, Dave Kendall, and Simon Boland.
All right. So this Sove guy who's like has been one of the baddies has got a couple of human civilian passengers, and they pick up a message in Sove. How do you pronounce it? How do you pronounce it?
Sov.
Okay.
As in Soviet. I think Soviet. That's what I would say.
We say Soviet.
But then again, you Americans say something like Soviet, don't you? So
Soviet. Yeah. So it's Major Vaslov of the White Razors as opposed to the Red Razors, and they get a message to join them at Sector 13. So they're on their way, and Sector 13 already the psychic judge screens them to make sure that they're okay, and then Eastwood. Meanwhile, Eastwood and Fairfax are being strafed. John, strafed by one of the Dark Judge's space planes.
Was it Mortis?
Fairfax fires back with the Gatling gun. Yeah, it was Mortis. Yep. And then there's an outbreak of rebellion on the ship, and so the ship crashes into a building and explodes. And then they see the ghost of Mortis leave the body, and again with the dialogue balloon with the black in it, so it must have been intentional.
Do you know what actually the words in that are?
What?
Golly gear.
I thought you were going to say Trump,
or like that thing with the look at the finger, look at the tie, look at the thing. You're a cunt. So the ship lands at the sector house. They talk to Judge Irwin Biggs. They do the bro handshake from Predator, and they've got a tactical nuke on board their ship. So looks like they have a bargaining chip.
Yep.
I love this.
The only thing,
Go ahead, John.
The only thing that let it down for me was the strafing run, not actually taking them out. We've all seen them on the news reels, and we've all seen them on video stuff where we shouldn't be looking. You don't normally survive a strafing run because the rounds don't all just go down in one line. They're fucking all over the place. So they would have killed them. But apart from that, loved it. I love the designs of the panels, because you turn the page of the first one and it's all horizontal, so you get these lovely images across the page, like when them two sort of come pop up and they're blasting the weapons back. Then you get when the sort of took control of something in the ship, which fucked it all up, and the ship crashes, and the colours as he sort of starts to morph out of the body. That's quite nice, that purples and stuff. And then the final bit, I'm not quite sure on that image on the final page, top right. The weapon, is he dropping it? I can't quite. I'm sure he is, but it doesn't quite look as though it is. You know what I mean?
No, I think he's just holding it.
But it looks like he's holding it with like one finger if he's touching it. I don't
Yeah.
know. But I like the conversation, and I like the bit where, exactly as you said, it was the Predator fucking handshake grip, and then the reveal of we've got a nuke, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll have a bit of that then. So yeah, it moves a lot faster than most of the strips. It took a long time to get to this stage where everything's on top of each other, where we're getting action and action and action and action, which is really making it exciting. So I'm happy with this.
Well, that's the second Dark Judge down. He's still got another 2 to go.
Yeah. Oh, hang on. If it was IDW, he'd have about 50 to go.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to end it like Planet of the Apes, so the whole planet gets nuked?
I hope it's an ending where we don't go. I hope we get an ending where it's finished and then they bring out a fucking awesome trade and I'll buy it.
Well, it's KW, so Armored Gideon and Brigham Doom will appear.
Oh, God.
Do
Don't even jest. Don't even jest.
Do you think that sort of thing's coming from the creators now, or do you think it's some edit? It may not even be Matt Smith. It might be somebody from Rebellion saying, like, the kids like multiverses now, so be sure to cross over as much as you can, even if it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
I don't think it comes from anywhere. I just think that's the writers just doing their own thing, probably getting away with it. I can't see Matt Smith that really involved.
Yeah.
I could see a writer like KW saying, "Hey, how about the story about Dark Judges with Dead World?" And Matt Smith go, "Oh, okay, go ahead." And that'll be it, I don't think he hasn't that much. Could be completely wrong, but sometimes the prog seems as if it's just the editor is just a paginator, just putting the pages together and slapping them together and sending it out. There's no real vision behind what goes in the prog, because at some stages we've had 2 folk horror stories in the prog at the same time.
Yep.
So there seems to be no balance or no. Just get the thing done and sent out.
Well, they're not even doing the page thing, because it's like, oh, your jump on prog's coming, and 2 of the strips are continuing through, and there's a future shock stuck in there, and what is it? It's like just double the length, and that's
and I think maybe the thinking is that all the stuff is going to be collected at some stage, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, you really get the feeling that the prog doesn't matter that much anymore. It's all about the trades, which if you go to Comic-Con, they're not even selling the prog; they're only selling the trades. So
yeah. Talking about stuff that doesn't matter, Nightmare in New York, Book 2, Part 5, KW, David Roach, Jim Boswell, and Annie Parkhouse.
So Oogie Boogie's chewing out the
Oogie Boogie Man.
You pitiful and pathetic. Old dog with black teeth. So the witch, Oogie Boogie's chewing out the witch guy. His sister shows up dressed up like a cowgirl. They're going to go rescue Lil. He tells some backstory bit where he watched their dad get cooked by Christians because he was a witch. But New York,
those pesky Christians.
Yeah, well, he doesn't want to go because they're built a good life here in America, and flashes back to Bessaria, wherever the hell that is, where they burnt their dad for being in an oven for being a witch, and then he gets a message from this little black kid, and it turns out to be that spooky indigenous.
He was wearing a baseball cap with a wolf attached to it or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Looks like a baseball cap.
Because you know why? Because pimping ain't easy. So he shows up and tells this mystic message about Lil, that she has talents that she can't control, and it kind of falls on her to rescue her or kill her. So it's turns out the little black kid's his nephew and has 666 errands to run, which is kind of extraneous information, but kind of cool. And then they cut back to the Ripley's Believe It or Not Emporium that Lil and the fire guy had broken into, and the golem's choking her, and the the comic relief German guy's gonna poke her eye out with a magical pull cue. Fire guy shows up, he has burning hands, melts the guy with the bandaged face's face even more, but now fire guy's hands are all burnt and skeletal, because I guess he has to completely burn out before he can come back as a phoenix. Golem goes back to it. Some guy throws water on the guy wrapped up in bandages, who's now completely on fire.
No,
Uses
that's a mess. That's an absolute fucking mess of a strip. The guy with the bowler hat that's throwing the water on the guy on fire, that's a completely different person in the panel below.
From which?
The last page. The middle panel and the bottom left-hand panel are completely different people.
The guy's got the guy's using the bucket to throw water, and the guy using with the bowler, and the guy with the bowler who's using the bucket to hit Lil. It's two completely different people.
It looks like they're complete. It's a bad jump.
It's because the angle's weird.
No, it's a bad jump where he's using the thing. Yeah, you shouldn't. It's such bad storytelling.
It's weird. It is weird storytelling. So, bandage face guy, he's like, there's no coming back from his injuries. So this other fancy dress guy shoots him.
It's all confusing because you don't see where they are in the room. They're just popping out at the random spots. Like, for example, the guy whose hands are on fire, the guy with a bowler hat hits him with the bucket in the last page, the bottom left-hand panel. He's the one that gets hit with a bucket, but it's so then it cuts back then to the guy in the bandages. It shouldn't do that. I mean, it's just all over the place.
So you're completely right, and I'm going to say probably why this happened was that it's written for the trade. So the cliffhanger would have been like 3 pages ago. In the trade, that cliffhanger would be 3 pages ago. So you'd know where everybody was, where they already established where everybody is.
Yeah, but I guarantee you in the previous installment to this, you still don't know where everybody fucking is, because David Roach relies on photo references so much, and also the storytelling is so disjointed. I guarantee you won't be able to tell. He's not a good David Roach is not a good storyteller. There's
a lot of awkward posing, and
good illustrator, but not a good storyteller.
Some of the posing is very stiff, and some of the storytelling's a little.
Oh, it's all over the place.
Yeah, but having said all that, I'm kind of, as it goes along, I get a little more into it, so I'm okay with it. Again, I just wish that they hadn't chose to bring this one back. It's like you've got so many great IPs, and you can't tell me that they don't have better ideas that we haven't even heard about yet, and yet they brought this one back.
Well, Jim Boswell's colors are amazing, but that's the only thing I can say about it. What about you, John?
I have no interest.
So there you go.
There you go.
Oh, sorry. The bottom of the 4th page, bottom right, just reminds me of the Joker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. He's a Heine. Which is what, slang for German?
Oh, jawohl.
Yeah, not the best. All right, I think that's it. We have a pin-up at the back by Simon Colby that looks like a midget holding a lawgiver, because her arms are all maybe she's one of the thalidomide kids or whatever, and her face looks like chewed up toffee. You can't even really make out what kind of face she has. That's absolutely horrendous.
You see, my thing with the posters that are appearing seemingly more often is, this was a thing that we would enjoy as a kid. I have no reason. It's like when they're doing these, you can get the cover as a print to put on your wall. Who the fuck's going to do that? I'd love to know the numbers of people who've actually got the prints. to put on their wall. You know what I mean? I don't know what they're doing. I'd rather have more strip, and they can do more strip because every so often they'll have an 8-page dread or an 8-page whatever to finish it off. So there isn't time for these posters and stuff. But I don't mind it.
But it's terrible though. You can't even like.
Well, you've got the
face.
hand behind her head, haven't you? The weird hand behind her head
Right.
from the purple beast that's in her mind. But
Her figure
don't
alone,
understand
the
it.
way it's done, is just. I think he's trying to do some foreshortening thing that turned out really bad.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I like the colouring.
Yeah.
I think it might be the angle, because if you look at
it's the angle.
The eagle as well, the eagle makes the chest area basically vanish because you're going straight into the other shoulder pad. So because of that angle, you're not getting the blue of the uniform. So it's an interesting angle, actually, when I look at that now, which you're not seeing anything else. Yeah.
I think you need to start using more 3D models, better ones.
Yeah.
What was your favourite?
Mine, The Fall of Dead World.
Yeah, I think that's for all three of us, I think.
I just think it's just fucking building up to an awesome finish. And then, like I say, give me the trade and I will spend my money with them so long as they don't go, oh, we've done the trade, but we've left 7 pages out. We thought you might want to buy them separately and glue them in yourself, you fucking losers.
Well, Rossy, yours is Dead World too?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Forever Dead World. Although, Brink's a close second.
Here you go. All right. So, anything else to say before we hit the road? John, you've been gigging, haven't you?
I've fucking gone to festivals and just fucking killing myself. Rock festivals and fucking pop festivals from the 90s. So the rock festival we went to in Maidstone 2 weeks ago, it was like people like Saxon, Uriah Heep, Girls' School, fucking, and a lot of other groups that we've actually seen. Brilliant weekend, relaxed attitude. We give a load of people. I put a post on the official group page saying anyone who's wearing a Lemmy t-shirt or a Motorhead t-shirt on Saturday, if we see you, we'll give you a BM mat where you can only get it from is the Rainbow Barn Grill in LA. So we had 7 of those to give out. And people were so chuffed. I put a picture of Sam up with one bloke who's wearing the same t-shirt. One of the other blokes goes, oh yeah, all my mates have got Saxon. I was hoping I'd see you before Saxon played so I could then go get this t-shirt off and put my Saxon t-shirt on. So we seen there. Yeah, it was really nice atmosphere. And then we bought the tickets for next year on the Saturday. So paid for that already. That's all done. And then we went to the Blue Reef Festival, which is in the countryside, just a couple of miles away. They had people like Inspiral Carpet, Sleeper, Cooler Shaker. There's a couple of other big names from the 90s. Really enjoyed that. And they did a thing where, weirdly, I know the person who runs the fucking rock festival, not brilliantly, and I also know the person who runs the fucking the other festival quite well now because he sees us all the time. He goes, "All right, John, I saw me down Folks and called us over." When we got in here, he called us. We were just walking around to get the layout of see where all the food was and what we were going to have. And he goes, "All right, John, oh, blah 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 blah." He says, "I see you've opted for the 3-year tickets." I went, "Yep." He's because what he did was you can buy next year's festival tickets cheap, 75 quid for the Friday and Saturday, or if you want to go for the 3 years in a row and be one of the founding members of Blue Reef, there's like a special thing. You spend 200 quid a head, so you're getting 3 events, 3 festivals, but you also get a free event in each year because he does these like one-off things. There's about 4 or 5 groups going to the countryside on the farm area. There are a couple of other things if you're doing camping and stuff, which we're not, so it doesn't bother us. But I said to Carol, I said, well, even if it was just 75 quid each year, which it won't be, it's going to have to go up because of the way the world is.
Yeah.
So that's 225 quid. And now, if I'm paying 200 quid and we're getting 3 tickets, even if I kept that £600, which is it's more than 600 because you pay for the fucking charge thing. So even if that you pay 620 quid, even with that in my bank account, I ain't going to earn any interest that will be worth not buying the 3 years. You know what I mean? It's not if I had millions, well, the interest would be decent, but a couple of £100, the interest shit. So I might as well buy them, and then you help the festival keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what I went and I did a post saying, "Did anybody else get an email? We're now
It's like your very own rock concert subscription.
That's right. And I said to him, I said, "Oh, we got the little wristbands, which we didn't used to get before. So we're getting the wristbands now. So that I'll stitch one of those in Sam's jacket." And I said to him, "Now, this is my fucking awesome head." Because he goes, "Oh, yeah, there's only 300 of those." I went, 300? I said, you know what you need to do on that, don't you? You need to have a Trojan helmet on it. So we can all be, this is Sparta! I said, 300, come on. And I could see him in his head, he was thinking to the film, yeah, the film 300 in the book and the history. I said, because you've just said there's only 300 of us, so you have to have that sort of design woven into it somehow, because that's the thing. All these little things help, you know what I mean? But that weekend was brilliant as well. We had a great time. We drove down there, because I had like one alcoholic drink, a cider, and then it was just Coke and water. But the food was delicious, much better than the rock festival. Sam had a brilliant time. I did that video of him jumping up and down. We were at the front of the stage for the big groups. We weren't by the right stereo MCs. That wasn't quite our scene. That was one of the other groups. But yeah, we were at the front of the stage for everybody else that we wanted, and thoroughly enjoyed it. Just the only thing I will say is some people there, yummy mummies who don't know festival etiquette. Which, when I do an email to the owner, John, I'm going to say, I think you need to emphasise this, this, and this to stop people being tits. You know what I mean? So people are going, stage 2, people are walking right past the front of it instead of going behind everybody. And you're like, what the fuck are you doing? Nobody walks in front of a fucking band when they're playing. It's bad enough for us watching it, but it must be shit for them having a constant fucking throng of dickheads walking back and forth. So you have that. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, I've got other things, but I can't remember off the top of my head. But one of the other things, the main stage is called stage 1, and the other stage is called stage 2. And I'm like, why haven't they got names? He loves his surfing. So I'm going to say to him, have you thought about calling the main stage the Big Sur or something like that? Because that's a big surfing area. And then come up with, and then just do a voting thing and get people to come up with the names. If you don't want that name, get people to put nominations in, because then you have a proper, instead of like stage 1, stage 2 is bland. You know what I mean? Just come up with like something. Then everybody goes, oh, I'm going to go and watch it at such and such stage. It gives it a bit more of an interesting festival feel. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it was nice. There was I don't know what it is with the young ladies. I'm sure Rossi would have took loads of pictures of them, but they were all
without their consent.
Yes, they were all dressed in their Daisy Dukes with their cheeks hanging out, and cowboy hats. And I must have seen a couple of hundred young ladies.
Cultural appropriation.
But that's what I was thinking. I thought, where's nobody dressed up as an Indian going whoa 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 whoa? But I just couldn't get that, because I thought there's no fucking cowboy country music here. But it was weird. But yeah, a lot of people with flowers in their hair. That was a classic.
God damn hippies.
The worst one is, which I don't understand, because it's been all of the news in the last few years that this stuff kills fish, is the old glitter shit over people's faces. You know, and I'm like, well, hang on a second. Haven't you seen where that goes in the drains, goes out into fish, blah blah blah? Unless you're going to scrape it off and put it in the landfill. But it's things like that. I'm like, it doesn't quite sit with the ethos of this type of festival. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, it's weird. But no, it was really enjoyable. Cowland thoroughly enjoyed the food. I had some good talks with band members. One of the bands we really liked, who I'd looked online, I'd seen their videos, were fucking hilarious. They were called A_R_T_Art Band. they were doing one of their videos that they were in a pool. Ah, that was it. They were in a pool, and in the background, 3 other people were wearing Rossi's fucking glitter ball helmet, but they couldn't see out. It was full round. They had no vision. And I'm like, oh, fucking hell, Rossi would be fucking screaming, going, oh, that's my idea. But
I think I think those ones, there's like some that are not actually reflective, whatchamacallit, chips, or
yeah,
they're just like screen. There's like right in front of the eyes, I think there's like screen. It's a gray screen mesh.
But yeah, I had a chat with the lead singer of that, who was fucking hilarious. He was telling me like they prefer to be like a festival band and just get everyone fucking going, which they did. So I was happy with that. There was another group I enjoyed, which were called the Gulls, the Gulls. And what I wrote on my little sheet that I took, so we'd know who we were going to see each day. So I wrote under the art band, I wrote stylish and weird. But under the Gulls, I wrote, where the fuck's the piece of paper gone? There it is. I wrote own stuff, decent, tops off. And they all 3 of the main players, apart from the drummer, they're the tops off, which went down well with the girls. But yeah, it was 2 excellent fucking weekends of music. And like I say, we paid for the next Made of Stone, so that's covered for next year. And we paid for the next 3 years of that one. So it's fucking, because somebody was going, well, what was if something happens? I said, what? If something happens, what, like we die? I said, well, we don't need the money anyway, do we? We're dead. That sort of stuff. It's all this sort of shit. But I'm like, well, I want to help this person out. So if he gets 300 people to pay that 200 quid, that's 60,000 he has instantly in their bank account, which then he can start to really plan the next festival. You know what I mean? Because I still haven't got any ideas who you want. He goes, I have. He said, obviously, I'm not going to say it. I said, yeah, I have no problem with that. I said, I like to see stuff which may not be my stuff, because I wasn't into. I knew the songs of In Spiral Carpets and Cooler Shaker. I enjoyed Sleeper. She looked quite similar to. She's only facially, she's very similar to what she was. You know what I mean? Aged well. But the lead singer of Cooler Shaker is the son of a famous actress. Fuck me, Karen told me. Oh, I'm gonna have to Google it now.
She in?
I'm trying to think. Honestly, I can't remember. Off the top of my head.
You mean famous as in famous or UK famous?
A world famous, I would say. A world famous. Here we go. Haley Mills.
Okay.
Remember, it's Crispin Mills as the lead singer, and Haley Mills is his mum.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And he was hilarious because when he got the woman out, the Indian woman, to sing, he went, I brought a bit of Bollywood. I was thinking, oh, Rossi would have loved this next bit. But I put that video on YouTube, then she came out and sung Mr. Rossi. You'll find it on my extra 10 or 12 songs that I put up on my... No, I must put 20 over, actually, including the other festival. But and as you will notice, the hand is fucking rock steady, and like all the people around me, losers, the lot of them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Although I did get knocked in the back with an elbow at one stage. I think I moved slightly, which disappointed me.
You're disappointed in yourself.
All right. You got anything to say before you hit the road, Rossi?
No, I'm gonna have to keep an ear out for the workers, so I better get going.
All right. So I think I'll stop recording.